I'm a wheel-born baby. Always burn down the road. Yeah, I'm a wheel-born baby. Always burning down the road. I'm a wheel-born baby. This life never gets old. Come on, wheel burners, yeah, burn with me. Come on, wheel burners, yeah, burn with me. Oh, take a ride now on the Wheelburner Express. Yeah, Wheelburner Express, baby.
What is going on? Thanks for being so patient. Look at this fucking tree stump. Wow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, hey, I appreciate you guys waiting. I know that took a little longer. I expected to see guard dog on there screaming, hooting, and hollering, farting, and burping, and hiccuping. But guys, thanks. I got all set up. I got pulled in, got parked, got set up. Sent a quick message to Dar. Yeah, I'm just gonna do a short live. Got to get up at 1 o'clock and go to work, and then my brother called, so I don't talk to him enough. I miss him dearly, and it's something I should make more effort to. Just make that reach out and make that call. The fact is that he's in a different time zone as well sometimes, and doing what I'm doing right now. When I'm awake at 1 a.m, he's obviously asleep, and when I'm done work at 1:30 in the afternoon, he's at work. So it's a little difficult to connect. So it seems that this time on Sundays seems to work the best for him and for me. And so he threw a call in, and it was I had to take the call. Sorry, I know you guys were waiting. Chaos, appreciate it. Johnny, appreciate it. MC, good to see you, brother. Where the hell you been, son? Where the hell you been? I haven't seen you around doing a whole lot. I know Dar touched base with you yesterday or the day before. Just checked in on you to make sure everything's good. So I'm glad everything's working for you and everything's all right, man. But when we don't see our regulars, if all of a sudden MC goes missing for a couple of weeks, you got to find out what's going on. Make sure we take care of our own here. We do. We take care of our own here. And when I don't make an appearance, or if I'm not around too often, I got, people call me. Sterling calls me. Shannon calls me. Johnny people call you. Hey, how you doing? Are you all right? So MC, hope you're okay. I know you're okay, but glad you're okay. Get back to some business. Plays on the freeway. My bearded brother. How the hell are you, my boy? Good to see you, man. Hope you're good. Actually got a good day. It's a good night, right? It's 5 after 5 here. But it's above zero. Like I think it's like 5 or 6 degrees Celsius. It's not bad. It's a good night tonight. So not going to free it. Probably don't even need to run the bunk heater tonight. Just hunker down with the clothes we got. We're good. So, or with the blankies we got, we're good. Guard dog, good on you, man. Yeah, thanks, Johnny. Curtis, good to see you, man. Glad you're here. SST, Tyrannus, how the hell are you, man? You don't stop in here very often. Good to see you. I talk to Tyrannus a lot in other people's chats. We do a lot of chit chatting in other people's chats, but very rarely here. Thanks for stopping in, man. Good to see you. My boy Robert. Oi, there's my guy. I love this guy. I don't care what anybody says about you, Robert. You are the fucking bomb. Robert, you're the bomb. Love you, buddy. Big Steel. Damn, that cigar has some girth. This is a Nicaraguan. It's a CAO. They're out of Nicaragua. This is called a Flathead 770. They got like an engine series, right? They got Knucklehead series cigars, the Flathead series cigars. This is a 770, and this is about as big as they make them. That's about a quarter. Well, actually, that's about a third of the cigar. I've smoked 2/3 of it, and that's still a third. This thing is a tree branch, and it is delicious. I love that they have a smaller version of it. It's called a 660. Same blend, same wrap, same everything. It's just a smaller, like a more standard. It would be more. It would be about say like a Monte Cristo number 2. It would be that size ring on it. But this thing's a brute, but delicious as hell. It's a great cigar, and I'm really enjoying it. And it's a slow smoker. Like I'm a cigar whore. If I get a Romeo, or if I get a Monte Cristo, or if any of the regular Rocky Patels that I smoke, I can burn through one of those in under an hour. And if I'm sitting in the garage or whatever, just sitting around listening to music, I can burn through it faster. Now, this thing here, I've been working on for hours, absolute hours. So yeah, it's nice to just sit around, and we're gonna just talk some trucking. We're gonna probably talk some bullshit, talk some politics. And we'll talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. If there's something on you guys' mind, you want to talk about it, let's do it. You want to, here, we'll do this right now. There's the link. You guys want to, anybody's got something burning on their mind they want to pass on and talk about, knock yourselves out. Shannon Thomas Trucking. Shannon, we've got a couple of things at the house. And same with you, Chaos. We were talking last week, and so we got a couple of things at the house going out to you guys this week. So, Shannon, I know you don't have to watch your mailbox, but Chaos, keep an eye out on your mailbox. There's some stuff coming, as we discussed last week. It's just a matter of Dar finding the time to get it over to get into town and get it over to the post office. So. When that happens, then you guys, it'll be on the way. It probably doesn't take more than a couple of days to get down to you. Brian's getting ready for some BBC. Well, buddy, I hope you're talking about the British Broadcasting Corporation, because I ain't taking any of the other BBC, if you know what I'm talking about. Curtis, courts ruled against Trudeau in the Emergencies Act. Did you see that? Dude, I just about crashed my fucking truck, Curtis, when I heard that, when that announcement came. And of course, what's the very first thing that they said? Actually, Trudeau didn't say it. Freeland came forward and said it. That chick is such a twat waffle. Such a twat waffle. They're going to appeal it. You go right ahead and appeal it, Mr. Trudeau and Miss Freeland. You guys go right ahead and appeal it. And the more you appeal it and the louder you get, the worse this is going to be for you. You guys got caught and you got burned. Hopefully you're going to get charged. Okay. You did something that was, now it's illegal. It was against the law. You did not have the right. You got caught. You pulled the trigger on something you had no business doing. We were not deemed terrorists. We were not deemed a threat. We were not deemed anything other than a peaceful fucking protest. And you called out the big guns on us. Now time's coming. You know what, Trudeau, the smartest thing you can do, asshole, is tuck your tail between your legs, wait till the election, and just wander off into the sunset. Get the hell out of my country. Get out of my country. Go away. Take Freeland with you. Get on the toboggan, the sleigh, the fucking whatever you're getting on, and leave. Both of you. Just get out of this country. This ain't your country. You screwed this up. You've made a mess of my country. I do not like you. I actually hate you. I do not wish anything good to happen to either of you. Book it. Leave. Fuck off. The pain and the misery that you have caused for this country and the people in it, like me, is beyond you. There's not enough apologies. There are not enough apologies that could come out of either of your lion sewer cockhole mouths that could make a difference, that would make a difference in my life or my wife's life or my children's life or all the people, a lot of people like me that were at that convoy. There's nothing that you can say that could make this better. You could break out a government check for $1 million and hand it to me, and I tell you people with no lie, he could keep it. That would not make it all better for me. That would not make it all better for me. This country is, we are one of the worst countries in the world to live in for affordability. We are one of the worst countries in the world to live in for I think all the scales that they have, you know, housing, GDP, blah, 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 blah. We are like the worst in every single fucking one of them. So you know what? I am so disgusted with the government. I've said before, and actually I didn't mean it the way I sounded. I said I hate my country. I don't hate my country. Just like Americans, like you guys, you're proud people. You love your country. I love my country. I love Canada. I despise and hate these people that are representing and running our country. This isn't what we elected you to do. This is not what we signed up for. So hit the bricks and fuck off. That way or that way. Either fucking way, I don't care. Take a hike. Trudeau, take a hike. And this asshole still fucking doubling down on his carbon tax. All I'm going to say is, Trudeau, you can leave. You're going to lose the election. You know it. Freeland, you better be on the first plane out of fucking Canada when he loses. You better be over there and you better have your head up Klaus Schwab's ass so fucking far that you can taste what he had for fucking dinner the night before. Let me tell you that. You guys better be fucking gone. But I'm going to say this about Polivier. Okay? Pierre, the NDP or the conservative, who's going to hit, this guy's going to win. Motherfucker, you better hold true to your fucking promises, because this country and people in it like me will not tolerate your bullshit if you renege on all of the things that you're going to reverse the carbon tax. You're going to reverse Bill C-13, C-18, C-11. You're going to reverse all of this. You're going to reverse it all. You fucking well better, because if you don't, buddy, you're going to be run out of this country on a fucking short broom handle as well. God damn it, you motherfuckers. I will run for fucking prime minister and I'll embarrass the whole fucking lot of yous. The whole fucking lot of yous. Mark my fucking words. There's not a chance in hell. My channel's nowhere near big enough. Nowhere near big enough. Thanks, Johnny. You guys hit that like button. My channel's nowhere near big enough that I could ever get like Trudeau to come on here and debate me, or Freeland to come on here and debate me, or Polivier to come on here and debate me. But Jesus Christ, would I like it. I would even do it. I wouldn't even swear. I might even wear a fucking button-up fucking shirt, and it won't be a plaid. I will unhillbillyize myself enough to have one of these people on here and actually have a civil conversation with them. But Mr. Trudeau, if you've got the balls to call me and you want to come on here and do this, be prepared. Be prepared, because you won't be able to sit there like you do in front of those microphones and go and deflect and deflect and deflect like you do in the House of Commons. You've never answered a single fucking question that anybody's ever asked you in the House of Commons. Deflect. Well, Mr. Speaker, we're here for Canadians. Is that your standard line? Do you wake up every fucking morning, motherfucker? Sit up, put your feet on the floor, and practice that before you put your goddamn clothes on or even have your morning piss? We are here for the Canadian people. The Canadian people need this. Dude, you don't know what the Canadian people need. You don't have a clue what the Canadian people need. Nothing. You're dead. You're a dead quantity in this country. That's not a threat. I'm not saying that I'm going to kill you. You're dead. I'm just saying you are a dead entity in this country. Nobody listens to you. Tucker Carlson made fun of you today or yesterday. Had a blast making fun of you. And I stood there, I sat there looking at Tucker Carlson going, this is an American up here. And he's telling the Canadian people, you people should be laughing at your prime minister. Don't talk to him. Don't nothing. Laugh at him. Because that's the way the rest of the world is looking at him right now. They're laughing at him. And they're laughing at us. They're laughing at us. I got so goddamn mad I scared my fucking cigar. I'd look. You know who I want to talk politics with? Oh, shut up, Curtis. Just sucking away. You know who I want to talk about? When you know what I want to talk about. Who I want to talk about politics with? I'd love to sit down with Joe Rogan. Not on camera, off camera, doesn't matter. Coffee in a coffee shop. Just sit down with Joe Rogan. I'd love to sit and talk politics with that guy all day long. All day long. Or Jordan Peterson. That guy's just way too goddamn smart, though. He'd be using words this long. I'd have to have somebody with a thesaurus beside me so I could figure out, what the hell he's talking about. But I'd love to sit with Jordan Peterson as well and just talk. Not trash them, but talk about them. Talk about these politicians one at a time, who they are, where they come from, what qualifies them to do the jobs that they're doing, that they're unqualified to be doing. Trudeau is not qualified to be doing the job he's doing. The motherfucker, excuse my mouth, no, fuck my mouth, but the motherfucker, he won the prime minister. He became the prime minister because the dumb fuck in the first election that he ran in, he said, I'm going to legalize weed. We're going to legalize. He won that election on weed. And he did. He legalized weed. But that is the only thing that he did that is of any good for our country. Everything else, he's not qualified to do. He's not qualified to talk about. He's not qualified to think about. He's not qualified to fucking to debate on. Nothing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. He won that, and it wasn't even my age group but he won on, because he went on his platform saying, "Oh, we're going to legalize weed." Da 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 da. It was my kids, all the generation, the age category that doesn't usually vote. The 18 to 25. Most of those people don't vote. They don't get interested in it. They're too busy chasing pussy and fucking smoking dope. They don't usually vote. They don't give a damn. But when Trudeau said we're going to legalize weed, God damn it, they all voted. And they're paying for it now. Because not one of those poor bastards, my kids, like that generation, not one of them can buy a house, can buy a car, can buy a truck, can afford to move, can get a job paying more than $17 an hour, can fucking go to school, get an education. Everything is off the fucking table. Everything is off the table. It's almost impossible for my children. I don't know about any of you that have children that are adult. Like, and I say adult, I mean between the age of 18 and say 25 or even 30. How many of you have kids that are still living at home? And it's not because they want to be there. I have kids living at home. I got 3 of them still living at fucking home right now. And not because they want to be there. It's because right now they have to be there. All of them have college education. They're smart as fuck. They work like goddamn dogs. They got my work ethic and their mother's work ethic. They work like fucking crazy. But can they get a job in the field? No. And when they do get a job in the field that they went to school for, can they get one that's going to support them in the world? No. Because a 1-bedroom apartment went from $800 a month to $2,100 a month in the span of fucking 16 months. Who the fuck can afford that? Interest rates. Truck drivers. You guys are all fucking truck drivers in here with the exception of a couple of you. Go right now and try to buy a fucking new truck and finance it. Your interest rate's going to start somewhere at 8%. 8 fucking percent on a fucking truck. Mortgage rates. My mortgage comes up for renewal in June. Mortgage rate I'm paying right now, I think is 3.79 is what my last mortgage when I renewed. Even with a fantastic credit score and blah, 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 and mortgage, to renew your mortgage, you're now sitting north of fucking 5.5%, 6%, 7%, 8% for a fucking mortgage. People, what the fuck? And this is what we're doing in Canada, and that's why Trudeau's got to go, and Freeland, and the whole Liberal Party. And for my American friends, your version of our liberals is Joe Biden, right? Your Democrats are the exact same as us, okay? Exact same as us. So you guys are dealing with it as well. The only difference between Sleepy Joe and Trudeau is Sleepy Joe can't find his way on the stage or off the stage. I don't think he can put 3 coherent words together. At least Trudeau, because his mouth and his brain are still fucking working to talk. But there's no thinking going on. The fucking hamster and Trudeau up there, the hamster's dead. That wheel ain't spinning. That fucking hamster done. Gone. He's dead. I don't think Joe's hamster's been alive for a while. I think Sleepy Joe's hamster is long fucking gone. It's dead as a doornail as well. I'm telling you, people start looking around. Where's the best place to live these days? Ain't in Canada. We used to be in the top 3 for 20 years in a row. Canada used to be in the top 3 of countries, the best places in the world to live. Safest, cleanest, fucking economically wise, best places in the world to live. Canada was always in the top fucking 3. Dude, we're down there around Uruguay right now. Damn, son, my mouse just ran away with me. Mr. B's, good to see you, man. SST, Western society will have to balkanize or it'll be destroyed. Some big changes have to come, SST, and unfortunately, our kids are going to pay for it. Terribly. Because if you're in my age group, at least I have like my age group. Well, hopefully we do. Hopefully we've got nest eggs. We've got some security. We've been working. I've been working for 35 fucking years of my life. Blah 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 blah. I've got something to fall back on. My career, my job, and my career. I'm starting to wind mine down. But the next generation. Literally, they need to implode the country. And I don't mean have a civil war. That's not what I'm saying. But they need to implode the country and start from scratch. Motel 6 always has a light on. There you go, Johnny. Even a Motel fucking 6. Motel 6 used to be $69.95 a night, buddy. Try getting a fucking room for $69.95 a night at Motel 6. $120, $139 or something now. I wouldn't go that far, Tyrannus. I'm not going to Russia. I'm not going to Russia. The world is shit. There is no best place. They are all turning all into one big shithole. Mr. B's, I agree with you. I agree with you. So what is it we do? What are our choices? Okay. Do we have an uprising in Canada? Do we have an uprising and we have what? I'm not gonna, again, I don't want to say the word civil war, but because who's going to be warring? Who's going to be fighting? Right? It's easier and less damaging to remove a government than it would be to fight amongst ourselves. Besides, there's not enough people to fight. There's not enough liberals left in Canada that are going to support Trudeau, that are going to go, yeah, we'll take up arms and protect and defend our government. Bullshit. And just like the United States, although they've raped us of our gun rights and they've raped us of all of our fucking guns, there are still more weapons and firearms in private hands than there is in the Canadian military. And the same stands firm in the U.S., right? The U.S. especially. There's more. I think we've had this, and somebody actually looked it up. I think it was either Curtis or Robert. Somebody looked it up, that there's more privately owned firearms and weapons in private citizens' hands than there is in the military. The government couldn't turn on us now if they wanted to. They'd have their asses handed to them. But what are we supposed to do? What we need is some smart fucking people. And I don't mean people like me, because I'm not. We need people fucking smarter than me. But what we do need is some smart people with some common fucking sense. Common sense. I got where I am in life by using common sense and following my instincts. My gut instincts, my raw gut instincts, and some common sense have got me to where I am. Now, am I in some great place? Fuck no. Am I some great, rich, successful fucking truck owner? No. But am I doing okay? Is my family in good shape? Do my kids all go to good colleges? Do my wife and I, does my wife live in a nice home? Yes. And that's the type of love, that's the type of country I want to stay. That's what I want to be passed on. That's what I want for guys like Curtis. That's what I want for guys that are like my kids and my kids' friends. That is what I want for the next generation. Unfortunately, it ain't going to fucking happen unless somebody steps up. We've got guys like Jordan Peterson out there banging the fuck out of Trudeau, and we've got other people out there, but it's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough until the people, being us, finally get together and go, fuck this, we've had enough. You want to know honestly what we need? This is honestly what we need. We need another convoy. But we need it done the exact same way, but already have the representation in place. Have the people in place to speak for the greater good and for the greater community or the greater of the country, the people of the country. That is what we need. The convoy last time was fantastic and awesome, and it scared the shit out of fucking the liberals. It scared the Christ out of Trudeau. He wouldn't come down and talk to us. But we didn't have certain things in place. And if we can get those in place, God, I look like Willie doing this. Fuck, sorry, guys. If we could have that put in place, I think we would have something. I would very much consider. I really would. I would seriously consider when I'm done with trucking, which could be, sooner than later, going into politics. And just at like even a local level. And I'm just going to be the thorn in everybody's side. I'm going to be the thorn in everybody's side. And just nobody's going to get away with, well, because when you ask them a question and they go, well, because we said so. Remember your dad saying that to you when you were a kid and you go, I need you to go do this. Well, why, Dad? Because I said so. Our politicians do the same thing to us. They treat us like children. They do this and you go, well, why are we doing this? Because we said so. That's not good enough. And that's not acceptable. That's not acceptable to me. That's not acceptable to my wife. That's not acceptable to my family. It's not acceptable to my country. You motherfuckers are gonna fucking learn that very shortly. And I'm like I said, Polivier or Poliev, if you pronounce it in English, it's Poliev, or French, it's Polivier. I'm gonna hold you to it. A lot of us are gonna hold you to what you've been saying on the stage. You talk good, brother. You got a great talk. And you got us all believing it. We're drinking the fucking Kool-Aid. You better deliver, buddy. You better deliver, or you'll be on the next bus out of fucking town with Trudeau and Freeland. Book your $9,000 fucking condo apartment down in New York City where Trudeau hides half the fucking time. Book your apartment down there and go hang out with them. Because if you don't deliver, it's going to be a bad day in politics for you. It truly will. Man, I have, and I'm not even going to fucking bother trying to catch up on comments. Sorry, guys. You guys are killing it. But Johnny the Organism, good to see that Canadian beard. Once again, thank you, sir. It's coming in quite nicely. We're going to be shaving it off in June. But until such time, we're going to let this thing go like a bad weed. Bad weed. Tolga, man, thanks for popping in. Tolga's our boy over in Hungary. I saw somebody from Greece. My mouse was going faster than my brain, so I kind of missed that. But we got somebody that's actually in here from Greece. I apologize. I didn't. Hey, Victor, good to see you, man. Hooligan, great to see you. Good video. Was it yesterday? Yesterday morning, or I saw that video about being the bike market and the big industry. They're pricing themselves out. 100% agree, dude. 100% agree. These dumb assholes don't know what they're doing, eh? $60,000 for a new motorcycle. Who the hell can afford that? You know what? You get those guys there, Harley, all of them, Harley, Triumph, fucking BMW, Honda, Suzuki, Kawasaki. They should go back to what got them. Go back to the basics. I don't need a computerized bike. I got a computerized truck. I got a computerized house. I got a computerized car. I got a computerized fucking phone. This isn't a phone. This is a goddamn computer with a phone attached to it. Everything in my life is computer. I don't need a computerized bike. I don't need ABS on a motorcycle. Agreed. I heard you say that. 100% agree with you. You know what I need on my bike? I need two wheels, a reliable engine. I need a nice setup that's built for me the way I want it. If we can get back to that on motorcycles, dude, sign me up. Sign me up. I've said it before. You know what? I'm seriously tempted. In my garage, I'm just going to start building. Back in the day, we used to work on bikes, right? But I haven't done it in a lot of years. So any of the new bikes, I probably wouldn't know how to because they're all computerized. I wouldn't know how to diagnose a lot of the new bikes. There's way too much shit on them. But I would say any bike up to say into the late 90s, maybe early 2000s, I could probably still strip down in my garage, put it up on the lift, strip it down, take it apart, fix it, put it back together, and it would run like a fucking champ for another fucking 10 years. I'm seriously tempted, dude, to just start doing that. Just start doing that. Just start building motorcycles. Although the government would probably find a way to fucking screw me on that too, right? Profane Truth, good to see you. Don't always agree with you, but thanks for popping in. Glad you're here. If you want to argue, tonight's the night to do it, bud. I got to burn my ass. And a picky cigar. A naked bike. You know what? There you go, Robert. I don't need the big fairing. I don't need the big windscreen. You know what? I don't need all the fucking intricacies. I don't like choppers. You can't turn the fucking things around. They're a little hard to ride. They're not all that comfortable. I've been on a million of them. That they're ball breaker and they're back breakers. You know, give me a nice bike. Let me I'll even build the frame. Let me start from the ground up. I'll build you a really nice fucking bike. You tell me what you want. Come in. Let me take your measurements and I'll size you. And I'll build you a fucking bike. that's for you. That's what we got to get back to. These guys want to make money on motorcycles? Go back to fucking what you started doing. Give me an old 39 knucklehead. Sounds great. Finally, 39 was it was the only year that they actually got it working absolutely perfect. I think the knucklehead came out, 35? 1935. They had 35, 36, 37, 38, and 39. Then they discontinued them, I think. But 39 was the year that they nailed it. Give me a 39 knucklehead. Give me a nice straight ass A-frame fucking frame. I'll build it. Put a soft tail on it because I need the soft tail on it. I don't need all the gizmos, the toys, all the shit. A nice set of bars on it. I don't need a long raked out fucking bike. Hooligan, come up to my place. You're not working. As far as I know, you're not working. Come on up to my place and we'll build a bike. They have. If it's new, it has to meet the new standards. If it's older bike, then they can be restored to the factory settings. I understand that. I understand that. But finding the older bikes to rebuild and restore is becoming harder and harder to find parts for these things. They really are. So that's a little difficult. I'd like to just build bikes from scratch. In the old-fashioned way of doing it, in the old style. Screw these new ones. Like, don't get me wrong. Like the Suzuki Boulevard's a great bike. The Harleys, although I'll be honest with you, I have not ridden one of the new ones, like a 2020. I don't think I've ridden a Harley any newer than a 2019. So I can't speak on it. Okay, but I can certainly speak on the fucking technology that's on that thing. Every single fucking part that's on that goddamn, you go in now and you order a new Ultra Glide or a fucking Sport or whatever they've got in there now. Every single goddamn part in there, this stamped, made by NASA. Dude, no. Yes, keep it simple. Mechanical is always best. You know what? I love the days, Hooligan, when, you know what, there'd be 10 of us or 12 of us or 15 of us out riding. One guy's bike breaks down, and you know what? Between 10 of us, we could fix it right there on the side of the fucking road. Right there on the side of the road, and within an hour, we were up and rolling again. That's where we got to go. That's where we got to go. Evening, careful, lighting that fatty. Gonna burn your bush. Dude, look, I already did. Took off, I don't know, about 1/8 of an inch right off the top there. I prefer the electric starter now, though. That kickback the kickback on the old bikes, it can be a motherfucker. I'll agree with you, Robert. The starters are nice, but even if I don't have to have a starter, I'll kick it. If you got the right boots on, if you're not doing it in a pair, as long as you're not doing it in a pair of fucking Nikes, or a pair of Adidas. If you've got a good quality set of riding boots on, you can kick that bike over if you know how to do it properly without fucking dislocating your hip or your leg or your knee. Analog components are more expensive to produce compared to the digital counterparts. Well, the digital counterparts, Tyrannus, they're on an assembly line now. Stamp, 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 bang, stamp, 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 bang, stamp, 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 bang. Analog parts they're more expensive now. The thing is, I will pay more for an analog part because let's just say, Tyrannus, let's just say I go right now and I build my bike, right? And I build it the old school with the analog, everything's analog on it, and there's no ECMs, there's no bullshit on it, right? I will pay more for those analog components because 10 years from now, those components will still be working on that bike. Those digital components okay, I'm going to replace those components every couple of years. And at the price, I'm going to pay for the analog. I'm going to pay, I'll just pull a number. I'll pay $300 for an analog part once over a 10-year period. I'm going to pay $100 for a fucking digital part that's a piece of shit, and I'm going to pay for it 4 times. And there's lots of digital components on these bikes. So you do the math. Do you want to pay more for one analog part that's going to last you for the lifetime of that bike that you're riding it? Or do you want to pay for these digital parts or all these chips and all the sensors and all the shit like we've got now that you're going to replacing every year, 2 years, 18 months, whatever? I'll pay more for the analog and I'll sell the bike with that premise. Yes, this bike is a little expensive. Yes, the analog parts cost a little bit more, but I promise you, 10 years from now, you'll be passing this bike on to your son or daughter, and it'll still be fucking running. That digital one over there, that new one, that 2023 or 2024 with the 7,000 parts on it and sensors and all that shit, dude, you're lucky to roll that thing. You'll be lucky to ride that thing out of the goddamn parking lot before a fucking light comes on telling you to turn it around and take it back to the dealer. Don't trust it. Don't trust it. Johnny, I've not ridden any newer than a 2003 Kawasaki Trials. That's nice. 2003. Wow. Tranis, hello. Tolga saying hi to Tranis. Just back. I had to restart my browser. Too much technology and no mechanics, only technicians. Well, Hooligan, you're right. It makes no fucking difference whatsoever. Hooligan, it makes no difference whatsoever what you're talking about. Whether it be the trucks, the cars. If I was to go into the Freightliner dealership, they're not mechanics. They're all technicians. If I was to roll into a Chrysler dealership, they're not mechanics. Come on in and see our certified technicians. If I roll, it doesn't matter what the fuck I do. If I roll into Harley Davidson with my new bike, our technicians will get right on that, Mr. Brown. Fuck you. Everything is R&R now. You notice that? It's R&R. These are R&R technicians. They're not mechanics. They're R&R technicians. Remove and replace, remove and replace, remove and replace. Nobody fixes anything. Remove and replace. One of the biggest problems we got with trucks, cars, and probably motorcycles, I can't speak because I don't know, but I would imagine the same with motorcycles, is the parts are so cheap and everything's such garbage that it's actually cheaper easier just to replace it. Replace it, remove it, replace it. It's like a fucking Ferris wheel. And half the time you plug the computer in, not half the time, I'm going to say even more than that. I'm going to say about 70% of the time, they plug the truck in, they plug the car in, they plug the bike in. It tells them, okay, this is where you got to go look at. So then they'll go remove that and replace it. Let's just say on a truck, whatever, a sensor, EGR sensor. But then you get out, you drive it, your check engine light comes on. Oh, okay. So then same code. Okay, well, it wasn't that. Well, then they're going to remove and replace 5 parts until they finally get the one that's actually fucked up. And I would imagine cars are pretty much the same, and so are the bikes. Okay, so they're not fixing anything. They're just removing. I want to go back to the day when they'd pull the fucking starter out of a fucking vehicle, whether it be a truck, a car, and the mechanic, right? The word there is mechanic. He takes that fucking starter over to the workbench, starts taking the fucking thing apart, and rebuilds it. Same with an alternator, same with all of that shit. They used to fucking fix them. And then you didn't have to worry about it. The mechanic would put it back in, test it out, down the road you go. Now, no. Remove it, replace it, remove it, replace it. And they don't even get it right half the times. They remove and replace, like I said, 3, 4, 5 different parts until the computer goes, yep, that's the one, okay. And you've got yourself a $7,000 fucking shop bill. How many times has that happened to you guys? It's happened to me a couple of fucking times. And I let them know, I'm none too fucking, you're eating the cost of this. You're eating the cost of that because you didn't need to replace this part. You didn't need to replace that part. You've replaced 3 parts to find out the one that was actually busted. So you know what? You can cut me a break on that and that and that, and I will go in kicking and screaming, and I still do it today. You got it, Hooligan. find the top dead center, and she always fires up. That's my brother right there, boys and girls. And he's absolutely fucking right. Absolutely fucking right. There's only one thing wrong with my brother. There's only one thing I got to fault my brother for. He's a good man. He takes good care of me. He's probably one of the few people in my life that doesn't judge me. But there's one thing wrong with him, and I just can't get over it. And like, we need to work on this. The motherfucker won't smoke cigars. He just won't do it. I've sat in his house 1,000 fucking times and smoked 100 different blends of cigars in front of him, and he will not do it. It's the only thing I can find wrong with the kid. Jesus fucking Christ. Come on, Glenn. You need a cigar. We'll hook you up. We'll start you out slow. We'll give you a couple of those. What are those shitty ones? Those brandy tipped, fucking plastic tipped old ports. Start you out with a couple of old ports there, Glenn. Here's another one. I briefly spoke to Glenn about this last week, and I think he took it as a joke, but I was half serious about it. Sterling and a couple other guys want me to bring Glenn on and do a one-on-one, whether it be live or do a recorded, because my brother's for most of his life has been in the car business. He's in the car business. He works for Chrysler. At the dealership level, at the top dealership level. He's at the top of the dealership level. And he has, for the last 20 years, obviously seen what the market has done in the auto industry, the ups, the downs, the goods, the bads, and everything like that. And I think it would make a really good, like, small series to just sit and talk and shoot the shit about where the industry was, what happened, and where we are today, and where the industry is going, obviously, with the electric cars, garbage, and where the industry is going. I'm going to get on him about that. I really am. I think I'm going to talk to him about that. I don't know how big he is about putting his face on the screen, but he's related to me, so he can't be that bad-looking guy, right? He's not a bad-looking dude, so it's not like you guys are going to look at him and go, and start yakking, so. You got it, Johnny. Analog versus digital. Analog wins every time. Your world is analog. I'd love to go back to living in an analog world, eh? There's supposed to be some kind of big convoy on its way to Texas, but I have yet to see any kind of vid or large trucks going down the road. I think something's coming. Yeah, Sean, thanks, man. I believe it or not, I did go change those clamps. I did. When I first bought the truck, I went around and changed most of them, but I missed a couple of them. And somehow or another, every morning I open my hood and I look at them, and it never clued in. But after that video, I went and changed them. So some were supposed to be coming out of Virginia Beach today. I cannot confirm anything. Well, Mr. B's, you send me emails and we talk back and forth. Keep me updated what you see. Guys, any of you guys in the States that are seeing any of this, right? Or that have access to anything that goes on, if something goes down in Texas, if you got footage, like I'm going to be honest with you. So some of the stuff that we see that's reported to us in Canada, it may be out there to maybe reported, but it never makes it to us. We don't see it, right? It's censored. So if you've got it, email it to me. Insurance companies won't insure vehicles that don't have the ability to record data like speed, runtime, accel, decel, habits, etc., and transmit it live to your social credit score. I did not know that. I did not know that. I know that if you're going to build your own bike, you have to conform to certain things, as for the insurance and for the ministry. Now, conforming to those things is not hard, but I didn't realize that, you got to be able to have like runtime, accelerating, decelerating habits. And I don't think insurance companies up here, I think in the States, there's a couple insurance companies where they have some apps that that hook up to your car, right? And they keep track of all that. And your insurance company can keep track of it, so they know what time you're driving, whether it's peak periods of traffic and non-peak of daylight, nighttime, blah, blah, blah. I don't think our insurance companies up here are doing that yet, but who knows? It could be coming. We don't have a social credit score yet. Curtis, the tentative word there is yet. It's coming, Jack. It's coming. It's coming. Any of you Canadians that are all excited with this new thing that they're proposing, every Canadian gets $2,000 a month, regardless of your income. Are you fucking crazy? Are you fucking crazy? If you take that money, you are done. They own you. They will own you for the rest of your fucking life. Because what that's going to do is that's going to lower your fucking work ethic. People are going to go, well, why do I need to work so hard? The government gives me $2,000. And then what happens? You become reliant upon the government or upon the system. And then what they do, they're going to turn around and then they're going to set up, like Curtis has just said, a social credit system. And everything that you do in your life from that day forward will be dictated to you whether you qualify. I want to go buy a house. Well, your social credit score, you haven't been a good boy, or you haven't done this, or you don't toe the party line. You're not a good liberal. They can find 100 fucking reasons. No, sorry, you don't qualify. That's what's coming. They're already doing it. Go over to Europe. Tolga fucking tell them it's already fucking over there. You guys fucking know it. It's already there, and they're trying to do it in Canada. And I guarantee you, it's already on the book somewhere in the U.S. They just haven't fucking proposed it. Fuel injection mapping just doesn't work in motorcycles. Dude, I don't know. I've ridden bikes that are fuel injected. I prefer not to have fuel injected bikes. Again, but you know what? I'll be 100% honest with you. I'm not in a position to make to make a comment on that. I would actually, now that you've said that, I'm gonna when I'm done here and whatever, in the next day or so, I'll probably look into that and see what that's at. Hooligan, don't forget about all the recalls on these modern machines. Again, hooligan, it makes no difference. Bike, car, truck, fucking washing machines, dryers, dishwashers. They all got sensors and computers in them now. Absolutely. And they've all got fucking recalls. All of them. CM, good day, folks. Just tuning in. Thanks for tuning in. CM, appreciate that, man. Insurance companies don't want to insure electric digital vehicles. I think that insurance companies are going to be paying a lot of money for the electric vehicles. I think they've seen with the Teslas and the new, the Ford fucking pickup, that was a heap of shit. That's not going anywhere. But I think they've seen that mechanically that they can't run through the winters. There's no long-term survivability of a car. I can take a 57 Chevy and restore it and drive it for another 25 fucking years. I can't take a fucking Tesla that's already got $1 million worth of fucking digital problems with it, restore it and drive it for another 20 years. I might get another fucking 2 weeks out of it. I don't know what the insurance companies are going to do. I like the panheads. I like the fucking, I like them. It's like the old 3406 or the fucking old Cats or the two-stroke diesels when you could cold start them. Pop, 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 pop. Love that sound. Love that sound as you crack that throttle going down the highway too. Nothing like it. Way more variables in a bike's optimal operation than in a car with fuel injection. I can see that. I can see that. What I miss? All mechanical shit. Oh shit! Ain't we all got an experience in nonsense? What the hell? Non-sequential computer BS updates to a damn engine computer, dude. If it's got an ECM on it or an ECU on it, or if it's got a motherboard on it, you're liable to have you're in a higher probability of having problems with it. You are going to have fucking problems with it. Again, we've proven it with trucks. These trucks are horrible. They're absolutely fucking horrible. I regret selling that Kenworth now. I should have fucking just kept that I had that 95 Kenworth, or sorry, that 97 Kenworth, all mechanical, 60 series, 12/760 series in it, 18-speed manual. I regret selling that truck. I should have kept that truck. I should have made the changes and spent the money and made the changes to make it adaptable for what I needed physically in the truck, because these new trucks are garbage. With the exception of the truck that I've got right now that has treated me very, very well. If I get out of this truck and I have to go into a new truck, I don't know what I'm going to do. Be honest with you, I don't know what I'm going to do. I would be more tempted to just go back and find the old truck, go find an 85 to 95, an 85 to 97, and just fucking ground up, restore it from the ground up to a complete resto on it and drive it. The problem is what's going to happen eventually is the government's going to see people like me doing that. And there are guys out there doing it, and they're going to just put a stop to it. Trucking companies are already putting a stop to it. Oh, I'm sorry, we can't have you on our fleet if your truck's less than 5 years old, right? Or if it's not within 5 years. So if you've got I think our company here, I think you got to be 4 years. So it's 2024. If you're driving anything older than a 2019, you can't bring it onto our fleet. If you've got one and you're already here, you're fine. You're grandfathered in. But if you're a new driver and you've got, say, a 2015, and you want to come onto our fleet, they will not take it. They won't do it. They want new trucks. They want new equipment. And who do you think's putting the fucking, who do you think's got the foot on the necks of all the truck owners and all the board of directors of all the big trucking companies? Who do you think? Some politicians somewhere. Some politicians. We got to get these trucks out of here. They're actually making money with them. The goddamn things aren't, the fucking trucking companies are going broke because they're not selling $9,000 fucking dollars an hour in computer components that are breaking. We've become a disposable society. Nothing is built to last anymore. Hooligan agreed. Absolutely agreed. Same thing with old auto AC compressors. Exactly. Tyrannus? Exactly. They used to rebuild all that shit. They used to rebuild a fucking old, like out of like a 60s, 70s, 80s. I won't say so much 90s, but all those years there, the whole AC system, they didn't replace it. They just fixed it. Mechanically, they'd fix it. If I light this thing one more fucking time, man, holy shit. Oh, okay. Johnny the Organism. I was your favorite handle, Banana Puss. Now I'm just me. Oh, dude. Why'd you get rid of the Banana Puss? This fucking thing does not want to go. We're just fucking dying here. CM, a 425 mechanical, all you need. Pumps and injectors, easy to repair, cheaper. Dude, the old N14s, I got a friend of mine. He's got an 89 W9 with an N14 in it. Not an 89. Yeah, an 89. And he's changed an injector on the side of the road. He carries extra. Yeah, as we know, the N14s are common. That's a common problem. But you can remove and replace an injector on the side of the road. Do you think I could do that with a DD15 or with an X15 Cummins? Come on. Nope. Can't do it. Cannot fucking do it. Does anyone know what a timing light is, let alone how to use it? Tyrannus, I do. I would probably have to fucking fiddle around with it and probably Google it, but I've used one and I know what it's for. I've seen other guys, I've seen the old timers use them, so I know what they're used for. Anybody else know what that is, though? Anybody else know what a timing light is? Curtis, what's a timing light? And don't Google it. The kids today have no interest in learning or doing any of that. We do not exist anymore. We are the last of our kind. You know what, Mr. Bees? I agree. I agree. Somebody in the office said to me the other day, said, man, you're the end of a dying breed. You're the beginning of a dying breed for truck drivers, being me, right? The guys that were my mentors that are most of them are out of the game now. So they're gone. There's a few around. We got a guy that works here that I look up to a lot. His name is Johnny. I won't use his last name. I was rolling down the road with him the other day. I was on the radio on the CB. Anybody remember who these are? CBs? And we were just chatting away on the CB. And I just asked him because I knew that he was in the 40s, like he'd been trucking 45 or 46 years. So I came out and asked him, I said, Johnny, like, what are you at here? Like, I know he's 74. I said, well, how many years you been trucking? He's been 46 years. He's been trucking 46 years. He's been trucking. And they call me the last of a fucking dying breed. Well, there they go. The dinosaurs are on their way out. And guys, if any of you guys out there that are my age right now, we are the old timers. Did you ever think you'd be thinking about that or looking at that? When we were new in this business and we were young and we were rolling down the road and our hair was on fire and we were at 90 miles an hour and we were going across the sisters and we were fucking no seat belts and we were fucking get up the hill as fast as we could and we'd fucking bomb down as fast as doing all that stupid shit because we were young and dumb and inexperienced. Did you ever think that you'd be sitting there today going, oh, fuck, we're the old timers now? And we'd be looking at those old codgers over there talking, going, ah, fuck those idiots, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, guess what? We're it. Had a matchless 500cc single cylinder throw me over the handlebars when it kicked back. Dude, what do you weigh? Like 120 pounds? I don't think I've ever had a bike fucking throw me. I've had a bike throw me off of it, but I've never had not from starting it, not from kicking it over. I own a 91 TBI. I fix it. It has a computer, but doesn't need fucking updating. You know what? That's a really good point there as well. CM, thank you. Not only do these goddamn trucks, including mine or the cars I don't know so much about. I'd have to talk to Glenn about that. But the computers, this truck here it's a 2020. I've had 2 updates. I've had to do 2 updates, right? It's gone into the shop and it's had whatever going on. And the guy's going, oh, this thing, it needs an update right now. Okay, update it, right? You're already plugged into it. I'm getting charged for it, so update it. So, yeah. Pre-emission is the way to go. Cost more in fuel, but saves thousands in the end. Well, Gord, I've been on both ends of this. Okay, I really truly have. I'm on the fence. I was always the pre-emission guy, and then I got mixed up in talking about the new trucks, and then I got this truck, and this truck has done really well for me. But now I'm looking back. I remember having, I don't know if you guys remember Dodalina or Dodie. She's got that old Peterbilt, and she's still fucking rolling that iron today. Good on her. And her and I had arguments, I think last year. We had argument after argument. And I'd be like, oh, fuck, Dodie, get rid of that old truck. It's costing you X amount in fuel and you're spending this and spending that. And you're getting 5 miles to the gallon. And my truck gets 9 or 8.5. And if you break it, yes. But I think now, am I going to say that I was wrong? No, I won't say that I was wrong because my numbers were correct. But I think in the long term of the game, I think honestly that, and that's why I say if I'd have hung on to that W9, I think over the long, if I played the long game with it, because that W9 was fully restored, rebuilt, in-frame fucking 60 series, tranny was rebuilt, diffs were rebuilt, right? Those are your 3 big ones on those fucking trucks. All 3 of those were rebuilt. The body was in fantastic shape. It needed a little bit of work for me being the driver. I would have had to change a few things inside the truck, but I should have kept that truck. Now, hindsight looking back, I really think I should have. And, oh, there's Dodie there. She's actually in here. Damn, I didn't want her to hear me say that she was right. God damn. Hi, Karen. How the hell are you? Hope you and Al are well. Corporate douchebaggery, fleecing the consumer. CM, it's all corporate douchebaggery, all of it. Okay, and I was sitting there listening to a podcast, and I can't remember who the hell I was listening to, but whatever. And they were talking about the CEOs and the upper management of all these companies, whether it be fucking whoever, Ford, Chrysler, fucking Freightliner, Peterbilt, fuck whoever, right? These guys at the top level are making 20, 30, $50 million a year. And even if they get fired, they still walk out the door with $100 million package. Still walk out the door with $100 million package. Who's paying for that $100 million package? You and I, guys. Where's Chicken Hawk? You know what, man? I don't know where Chicken Hawk is, to be honest with you. He's probably, what's tonight? Sunday? Right about now, he's hauling ass. I know that he's got to be up in Philly to deliver tonight. He's got to get his drops off at the docks tonight. So I know that he's probably driving. He doesn't usually get up there till sometime around between 9 and 11. So, he's probably working right now. You'd watch that, eh? You're talking about me and my brother doing it. Yeah, I think it would be interesting. I would probably learn a lot. I probably would. Chicken Hawk, where are you? Alan is doing great. I'm excited for February 1st. I'm still sick and I'm not getting any better. You know what? You've got a bad case of Trudeau, Karen. Just fucking chalk it up. You've got a bad case of Trudeau. He makes me sick too. He really, truly does. Dar saying that's not good. Dodie's page. There she is. There's the girl. Dodie named her truck. Dodie, don't put the name in. Don't put the name of your truck in. Anybody here remember the name of Dodie's truck? I do. I think I do. She's got that beautiful black Peterbilt. She named it. Anybody remember what she named it? I used to make fun of her and call it the guzzler, like the fuel guzzler, but I'm kind of eating my words because right about now, I'd rather have no truck payment and be spending an extra $1,000 a month on fuel than spending the $8,000, $9,000 a quarter that most guys are spending on fucking truck repairs. Our shop is right over there. Now it's closed right now, but I'm looking around our yard, okay, and all those new Peterbilts, we got 14 of them, 14 or 15 of them. Out of that 14 or 15, and these are all 23s, okay? Out of that 14 or 15, 2 of them have already had complete like engine replacements, and every single one of them has had nothing but electrical, EGR, DPF, and ECM computer failure problems. And these are Peterbilts. They paid north of just south of 300,000 Canadian for these trucks. Not one of these trucks has been able to run a single fucking month without having to go into the shop. And every time they go into the shop, they're in there for a week. I think if you weigh it out and you weigh it off, I think that 97 W9 or Doty's fucking Peterbilt or any of those old school fucking trucks, they're still running. I know Come On With It. He's in the same book. He's not in here, but he runs the same type deal. He'd rather run that old iron and pay more for fuel, but his truck's always fucking working. Goddamn thing never stops working. Doty's truck never stops working. That fucking Kenworth I had never stopped fucking working. What can you do? What can you do? E-cars and trucks are a lunatic Marxist BS lie. We also are in a CO2 issue. We don't have enough for vegetation to grow. Look, dude, the electric cars and the electric trucks are a problem of their own. Like they've set these unrealistic dates for when they need all these cars, these electric cars, e-cars, you want to call them. They've set these unrealistic dates, 2035 and this and that. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. E-cars are not going to fucking come in and take over. Electric trucks are not going to come in and take over. You can fucking get, mark my words. If 3 years from now, I'm doing a live and we're surrounded by electric trucks and electric cars, I will give each one of you fucking $100. There's 45 of you in here right now. So that's $4,500 I'll dole out to fucking you guys. If the wave of the world in 3 to 5 years is electronic cars and electronic trucks. I'm telling you, it's just not going to happen. First of all, they can't sustain themselves in the winters. So that's a big one right there. The batteries can't take the beating that they're going through. And the infrastructure just isn't there. You can't charge that many fucking vehicles. You can't charge that many cars. You can't charge that many trucks. If, for example, there's probably 30 trucks parked in this yard right now. If they were all electric trucks, okay? If they were all electric trucks and all 30 of these trucks were plugged in right now, and I'm in the city of Brockville. You guys can Google Brockville. It's not a big fucking town. It's not a big city, but it's not a fucking small little town like where I live. But I'm telling you right now, if you plugged in 30 fucking trucks right now and they were all charging, you would crash the grid in Brockville. You'd crash the grid in Brockville, probably as far as Cornwall up to the Quebec line and probably as far down to Kingston. You would wipe out the grid, the power grid. It just can't take it. So you're telling me that they're going to keep adding and adding and adding and adding? Where's the infrastructure for this? Where's the power going to come from? What are they going to start erecting more nuclear power plants? No. They're trying to get rid of the coal. They've brought a couple of coal plants back because the nuclear ones can't do it. Like, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? Somebody give me a fucking answer. What are they going to do? I don't have an answer for that. We got a good 10 to 20 years left on this planet before attrition anyways. Enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. Dude, I hope you're wrong. I truly do. I really, really do. I hope you're wrong. You might be right, but I really hope you're wrong. Everyone's saying hi to Dodalina. Barbara Vidal. Hello from Georgia. Well, hello, Barbara. I don't think we've seen you. Sorry, I'm just going to look and see if you've got a wrench. Hopefully Dar's home and she's taking care, because I've seen a couple go through without wrenches. Anybody that doesn't have a wrench? There's one. There's one. RGB's got a wrench. Gord W. Oh, he's already got one. You guys are talking. You heard my brother was hot. Shannon, you're single. My brother's not. Back up. Back up there, lady. Back up. My brother is a good-looking dude. I'll give him that. I'll give him that. But that's all he's got going for him. He doesn't have a big dick, and he doesn't have any money. I'm just kidding. What do I know? Doty's saying hi. Gone to Texas, Terry Allen. I don't need no chicken shit businessman telling me what to do. And even if you have no business, boy, same goes for you. There's a guy like Ottawa Scotty. He's on the border watching over a large area. Looks clear for miles, but yeah, something's brewing for sure. Enough on this BS already. Well, I'd like to know what they find. Actually, Intact Insurance, you must have their app to maintain the cheap. Oh, fuck, see, Curtis, I didn't know. I don't know. Looking forward to Trucker Convoy 2 in line with the European farmers. Let's go. Castro. Castro. Dude, hold up a picture of Castro and hold up a picture of Trudeau. The similarities are way too close. Canada needs to be at the ready. 24, it's on the way, brother. It's all coming together and being exposed at the same time. There's a lot of shit being exposed right now. A lot of the dirty shit that Trudeau did and the Liberal government did is coming to town. Is coming to light, sorry. It really is. Doty saying hi to Plays. The 37 knucklehead was 40 horsepower. The next best knucklehead was when you and I were born, bro. Yeah. But it's funny, what they can get out of those motors for a 40 horsepower motor. 37 was the most problematic one, though, Glenn. The 35 was a heap of shit. It sounded good, and it was ahead of its time. 35, 36, 37. 37 was garbage. The 39 was the best one. It was the best. They finally got it to fucking work. But as for the two other knuckleheads that were born, hey, I stand proud. I'll stand shoulder to shoulder with you all day long, knucklehead. All day long. Any bad driving idea, any bad drive I have according to the app, I just say I was a passenger and move on. Yeah, but it still affects your insurance, does it, Curtis? It doesn't matter who's driving the vehicle, right? Because your insurance covers the vehicle and the driver. But say, for example, if I'm a passenger and my daughter is driving the car and something happens, my insurance is still going to be affected by what my daughter does, right? So whether the app is tuned into the car, does the app that's following you in the car or following the car, does it know that somebody else is driving? No. Eventually they're going to fix that. They're going to fix that, right? The app on your phone will be in tuned with the car and the engine, and it will have to be. You'll have to basically prove that it's you. Like you'll have to take a facial scan while you're sitting in the driver's seat, sort of like when you get an impaired charge. And you got to blow into the fucking tube to start your fucking car, right? Now I could blow in it for somebody else, like and start the car, but eventually they're gonna fix that. They're gonna figure that out, and the person driving the car is gonna have to be identified by the car, and they're gonna have to be mated up, and they're gonna kill that. Modern farm equipment is almost impossible to diagnose and repair. Well, dude, those combines. Those goddamn combines, you don't even need to fucking drive them anymore, Quinn. They drive themselves, right? They're all GPS fucking tracked and fucking led, right? Right down to it like a square footage, right? Those things out there, most of those guys, they're sitting in the thing, but most of them aren't fucking driving it. Or maybe they're driving it, but the computer is doing 99% of the work. The guy driving is just there as a passenger. Good stuff, yo. How you doing, Neil? Good to see you, man. Thanks for popping in. Oh, Dar's going, oh, Johnny. Oh, Johnny. She hasn't gone, oh, Brian. Well, she did last night, but she didn't do it. She didn't do it today. Shame on me. Yeah, you changed your name, dude. Put your name back to Banana Plus. It was a bit weird. Oh, my God, Brian, am I hearing? Oh, see, she fucking heard me. God damn it. God fucking damn it. I hate fucking... I'm eating my words. I'm eating, yeah, to a degree. Dodalina, yes, I'm eating my words. Do I agree 100% with what, you know? No, but am I eating my words? Yeah, I'll eat fucking crow. Jay, quick question. What is the name of the truck stop up there in Canada? Been going into Canada quite a bit lately. RGB, Canada's a big country, dude. Where are you going? We've got Flying J's up here. Most of them are garbage. What the Flying J did is they'd buy an old, not a Husky, an old, what were those? Curtis, what was it? Curtis would know, those old truck stops. They bought a bunch of those, or they bought a bunch of the old Shell truck stops, and they just slapped a fucking Flying J name on it, and they updated a couple of things, but they're all fucking horrible. They got some Flying J's up here. They've brought back the Husky truck stops, and they're most of them. They're still redoing them, but most of them are now good, quite good. They got good parking, or lots of room for parking. They're not paved though, so if you go, make sure you try to get in daylight, because you'll twist the shit out of your differential going through them. It also your name got you banned from Twitter. Damn. You also did Gord. Yeah. You also did injector cups on a C13 at a truck stop. Dude, you could do that back in the day. You could do that back in the day. You could rip an engine apart and fix it at a truck stop. You know, you might lose a weekend, but you could do it. I haven't used a timing light since the 90s. Well, you haven't needed to, right? There you go. Curtis, you Googled that. You Googled it. A timing light is when you tell your husband to turn off the light before you go to bed. You think you're funny, eh? Okay, so all of you know what timing lights are. All right. No, I'm an old codger. Roger. God damn. Robert's an old codger. That's why I love him. That's why I love him. Tolga said, we're saying, who needs a pewter? You know what? I'd like to sit here and think, okay, here's the thing. I sound like Narc. Here's the thing. Do we need computers? If you want to live and function in this day and age, unfortunately, you probably do. Now, here's an example, right? See the cell phone? Right. This is a fucking cell phone, but it's actually a computer with a phone attached to it, right? I can do pretty much everything I want with this phone, short of launch a space shuttle, right? Do I enjoy the freedom that phone gives me? Sure, I do. Do I complain about technology and things? Yes, I do. Would my life be would my life be a little bit more difficult if I had to go fuck this and go back to like an old flip phone? Sure it would. Do I enjoy having, Google that I can just Google on here? Like, hey, I'm going to a new customer. Google that customer. I need to get a credit rating on a customer. I can Google it. that truck over there is for sale. I want to know what the black book or the book market value on that truck is. I can Google it. You know, there's certain things about the phones and certain other elements about around us today that we like, that we use. Do I enjoy it? Yes. But do I honestly think that if I was to retire, let's just say I was to retire right now, and I'll even tell you guys, like, this is my heaven right here. If I was to retire right now, get myself, say, 60, 80, 100 acres of fucking land with a river running through it, a pond, or on a lake, something like that. Could I live off grid with no power coming in? Could I live with, say, like a wind turbine with a couple of solar panels and, say, throw a fucking a generator into an electric generator into a fucking river, right? Could I live like that? Yeah, I think I could. Could I live without having to be connected and look at, you know, what kills me is that every 7 minutes people are looking at their Facebook. They take their phone, they look at their Facebook, they put their phone down. Yeah. They'll talk, and then 7 minutes later they pick up their phone, go into Facebook, and they're looking, and they tell you, make a comment, give a smiley face, put it down. Could I live without all that? I don't have Facebook. I got rid of it years ago. I don't need it. It took up too much fucking space up here. It took up too much of my time. It was a distraction. It was a social distraction in my life. I got rid of it. I had what's the other one? I've still got a TikTok that we use for the channel, but I don't have a personal one. And Instagram. I used to have a personal Instagram. No, I don't have anything like that. I'm not a big social media. Could I live without social media? Probably. Unfortunately, I'd have to rely on fucking cable TV for my news, because believe it or not, this is a great source for news, because I don't believe what I see on TV. But could I, if I could do it and mess away, that is what I would do. I would be off the grid with my wife and my dogs, and I'd find something to do to generate some money for myself, right, in my retirement. That's, you know, that I don't need, you know, I don't need to make a lot of money, just, you know, some pocket change for this and that and whatever, cigar money, whatever you want to fucking call it. That's what I'd be doing. Absolutely, that's what I'd be doing. No questions asked. Trying to talk my wife into that? Yeah. I love my Trigger. There you go. That's Dodie's fucking truck's name. She named her truck Trigger. I love you too, Dodie. You're the bomb. Johnny, get rid of the EGR first. Yeah, get rid of the DEF. Right? The DEF fuel is killing more people than the fucking diesel. Do you know that? You guys know that? Fuck all of you's got fucking Google. Fucking Google it. The idiots out in California have discovered that the fucking when emissions go through a truck, let's just take an old 3406 or a 60 series. Emissions go through and the exhaust goes out the pipes. You've got your exhaust that goes up. You got your CO2, and you've got some soot and shit, but it all settles to the ground and it gets recycled, whatever, into the planet, right? Is it good? Not really. Is it as bad as they said? No. That old 60 series Detroit passed in emissions cleaner than this truck did. Believe that. My 60 series Detroit, 12.7 60 series Detroit, had a cleaner emissions test than this fucking DD15 did. How is that fucking possible? These engines are terrible. We got to get rid of them. But then they added DEF fuel. So now DEF fuel goes through the system, and believe it or not, it still comes out your exhaust when it, you know, it burns whatever it goes through. It still goes through. It doesn't all get caught up into your filters and everything like that, and it just, you know, goes away. It still gets burned. But the problem with DEF fuel exhaust is it doesn't settle to the ground. It stays in the air, and we breathe it. Yes, we breathe regular emissions from our vehicles, but it's not as bad for us as DEF fuel is. It is actually, DEF fuel is actually worse for us because it stays in the air. It never settles down. And now they've discovered that. And what are they doing? Oh, what do we do now? What do we do now? Oh, now I know what they're doing. Right now they're all rebuilding the systems, revamping the systems, and they're going to be adding more DEF. They're going to be having the next generation of trucks in the next couple of years. You watch, the DEF systems on these trucks is going to be even more. I curse the guy who stuck AdBlue in the screen wash tank. Imagine a frosted windshield in the middle of summer. The egg is also a curse. Brian, trucks are more expensive now. $340,000, $260,000 US for a new Pete 389. Yeah, and that's a truck. That's a truck that's only going to get you what, 7 miles a gallon? 7 miles a gallon. I hate to tell you, boys and girls, I said this last week as well. If your truck's out there, if you're making payments on your new truck, on a truck, and let's say you got a $2,000, $2,500 a month, whatever truck payment, and your truck's only getting 7 miles a gallon, you're fucked. The industry standard is not 7 miles per gallon anymore, guys. If you're not running in the eights, you're not making as much money as you should be. You're leaving money on the table. And motherfuckers like me are out there, we're going to take it. I will. Yeah, Dodie named her truck. Yeah, I know, Dodie. Almost 2 million miles on that big cat. And she still sounds great, doesn't she? And she still pulls like a motherfucker. Love it. Love it. The CNG trucks. Oh God. Remember who was the company up here, Curtis, that tried to make a go of those cat, C-A-T, like cat, like the cat engines, but the name of the company up here was Cat. They tried to make a go of that. Couldn't make it work. GW is tuning in from Alaska. What's going on, GW? Excuse me. How the hell are you? That's Trigger with a capital T, Shannon. Yeah, you tell her. You tell her, Dodie. Don't be putting up with that. Our 4 nuclear plants in Canada are near their expiration date, and the Pickering plant is past its expiration date by 15 to 20 years. Yeah, it makes you feel good living that close to it, don't it? Don't it? Not me. A trucking company told Newsom in Cali that he would buy a whole fleet of ELC trucks, over 1,000 trucks, if he could provide all the power. He could not. Well, yeah, there you go. Yeah. I want to see what Tesla, right? You know how Tesla builds all these charging stations and all the fucking gas stations, all that shit. I want to see what Tesla's going to do. Is Tesla going to build fucking truck stops? And then is Elon Musk going to pay for all of the fucking infrastructure to power all of these truck stops for all of this? I don't think so. I don't think so. Do you think it's a good time to buy or lease purchase a truck? Well, it's never a good time to lease purchase a truck. It's just my opinion. Okay, I'm not talking about industry standard market. Now, lease purchase is a last resort. Okay, if you're a company driver and you want to buy and become an owner operator, you've got a couple of options, right? You can save your money, put your down payment down on your truck, pick the truck you want. I did a video on it a couple of weeks ago. Get the truck, do all the shit, and become an owner operator that way. Or let's just say you don't have the credit rating, you don't have the down payment, but you decide you want to do it that way and do the lease purchase deal. Now, there's 2 types of lease purchase. There's a lease purchase that, say you're on with Schneider and you take one of their lease purchase deals, meaning that you lease the truck from Schneider, but you're exclusive to Schneider. You cannot take that truck and go work at fucking Prime. Okay. Or you can, but you got to buy the truck outright from them and you're going to get raped. Or there's the lease purchase, sort of like what I do is up here in Canada, and you can do it in the States as well. I did a video on it a couple of weeks ago. You lease your truck. There are leasing companies. You lease the truck instead of making it's exactly the same as doing a purchase. You put your down payment down, you've got your interest rate, but it's written up as a lease. I have a 3-year lease with a $1 buyout on the end of this truck. When the lease is done, I own the truck. But in the meantime, I can take and move this truck and put it wherever I want, right? I started with this truck at ET Transport, right? I got my outside financing. I had nothing to do with ET. I had absolutely zero. I took the financing from the finance company, and then I worked at ET, and then things didn't work out, and now I'm at KBD. I can take the truck and go anywhere I want. Now, to answer the other part of your question, is it a good time to do it right now? No. Now, I would, first of all, truck prices are still a little high. Now, if you listen to SoCal, he's going to tell you buy. If you've got deeper pockets, maybe so. But right now, wait. Truck prices and trailer prices are still coming down. Okay. James Best did a thing the other day. He was live and he was looking at the auctions, right? He was looking at, was it Ritchie Brothers auctions? He was looking at the Texas one, and they did another one. He was looking at, I think a California one or a Las Vegas one. And the price of those auction trucks is low. But guys, it's going to get even lower. It's going to get even fucking lower. All those guys, and we know a bunch of them, that when freight was $7 a fucking mile a couple of years ago, and they went out and spent fucking $350 on brand new equipment and all that shit, all of those guys, all their trucks are now at Ritchie Brothers. And if you wait, those prices are even going to come down even lower. So would I do it right now? No. I think right now the North American industry on freight right now, I think the average is what, 205 a mile. 205 a mile, which is not great, but that's the average. The 205 is not great, but it's not. You can live on that. You can, if you're smart and you're a good businessman, you can live on 205 or 208 or whatever a mile. Is that going to go back up? It has to eventually. So if you can time your purchase of your truck with interest rates going down, because interest rates again right now are ridiculous. The starting interest rate on a truck up here in Canada, even with good credit, you're starting at 8%. 8% on a big ticket item, that adds up to thousands of fucking dollars, guys. So now, if you've got $100,000 in savings and you want to pay for it in cash, go ahead. I'm in Texas. Nothing really happened here east of Dallas. Well, keep us going. Keep us in the loop. My uncle lives right at the border in El Paso, Texas. Hasn't told me anything. Well, dude, if you guys hear anything, email me. wheelburnerexpress@gmail.com. It's not fancy. It's not hard to fucking remember. Anything that comes up on any kind of news feed or anything that I won't have access to, because like I said, a lot of the shit that I get is censored. They don't want me to see that. Or when I say me, as Canadians, it's censored. True Seeker saying hi to Moet. Moet saying hi to True Seeker. Sure, I'm glad my food supply comes from out to the back door and grows out the ground. Got the river down the road. Just saying, yeah, dude. We've talked about your setup. I'm jealous, quite jealous. Well, technically, if you ride a motorcycle, you're a passenger. And the rider, let's look at Hooligan. He's finding loopholes for everything. If you ride a motorcycle, you're a passenger, and the rider, the only vehicle, you can be both at the same time. That's a good point. You're a passenger and the rider at the same time. We got these big ass geese from north that land from the northland of the frozen. Yeah, our Canadian geese. Don't mess with those. They will attack you. They are ferocious. They are absolutely bastards. Near Quebec City. Oh, Jesus Christ, son. Don't go into Quebec. And if you got to go into, as an American, if you got to go into Quebec, go in and get the hell out right away. depending on where you're going, if you're going into Montreal, it's not too bad. But if you're going into Quebec City, good luck with the English. They're just going to treat you like a piece of trash. Fifth wheels. Thanks, Curtis. Fifth wheels. We used to call them filthies, right? There's a Flying J near Quebec. There's a couple of them there's a Flying J near Quebec. There's another one that's like almost dead center between Quebec and Montreal on the 20. And then I think there's another one there's a Flying J in Quebec. And then there's another one almost right at the border, the Ontario-Quebec border. So those are all the Flying J's. Up here, we've also got now things they're called Petro passes. It's Petro Canada. They set up truck stops. They're not bad. They're clean. They usually got a Tim Hortons so you can get a coffee in them. I'm not changing back, just sticking with myself. That's the way to do it, Banana Puss. This is the best live you've ever made, Brian. Well, don't hold your breath. It could crash any fucking minute now, Dodie. Yeah. Petro Canada, Essos, Huskies, Flying J. That's pretty much all of them, Curtis. I think, Curtis, there's a few independents, like mom and pops. They're still around, and they're good. Most of them they run them across. Like if you're running, I'd say out of Quebec, you run out of Quebec, you grab the 417 up to the 17. And when you run the 17 across Canada, the Trans-Canada, and you're going, say, east to west, there's quite a few still small mom and pop truck stops that are still good and very reasonably priced. I use them. I have a Sony Ericsson C902, a nice old push button phone, mostly leave behind in the drive. Me going out without techno is a hoot. You know what? I would like to think that I could do that. I don't know. Because let's face it, once you've got one and then you start using it and then you almost become reliant upon it. And that's what they want, right? That's what Apple wants. They want you to become reliant on that phone. And to a degree, I almost am. I use the phone, like the phone on the phone, like the phone capability, to talk to friends, talk to Dar, but I probably use 2 or 3 other apps on here more than I use the phone, right? The Zucker? What the hell is a Zucker? The Zucker is building some kind of big-ass bunker, I guess, to avoid persecutions. I don't know what you're talking about. This is really interesting, as I often talk about off the grid. Didn't realize my husband was so into it. Dar, we can do that. We can do that. I'd have no problem with it. I think personally, I think you'd struggle with it more than I would. If you don't have a Wi-Fi signal, like it'd be like taking fucking like asking you not to breathe. Of course, it costs money to get off the grid. You can build your house, buy your property with your river or your lake or whatever you want. That's going to cost you. Then you're going to build the house on the property. That's going to cost you. And then to set up a fairly reliable, because I would want all 3, right? I am big on redundancy. So I would want to have solar. I'd want a wind turbine on the property somewhere. And I'd want, like I said, I'd want to have power coming out. I'd want that river. I'd have to make sure that the river doesn't freeze. So I'd want that power, the generator in the power, in the water, in the river. I would do that. If I could have all 3 of those and afford to build the house, and it wouldn't have to be a big house, it would just be Dar and I, right? A couple of bedrooms, maybe a small studio, whatever. I could I could do something like that. Much love for you guys. Keep on expelling carbon fumes. The plants will love you in return. You got it. Cat's still running them. Yeah, I know that they've got a couple of them on the road, but remember, Curtis, they when they originally got those, they were running those things down to Texas. They had a line of freight, a dedicated line of freight going to Texas, and they had more problems. So now I think they use them just for short regional local shit. I don't even think they take those into the US anymore. As Tyrannus, industry standards is an acronym, oxymoron, like military intelligence or common sense. Agreed. Industry standard is something that we use. But when I say to you, the industry standard is 205 a mile, that's just what I've, that's just what I've looked up, or that's what I've been following, or, I check every couple of days certain websites, reliable websites of what freight is moving. A certain load boards tell you, right? All the load boards, the DAT, the 123, they all keep track of what their average freight was for dry van, reefer, flatbed, tanks. They keep track of all of that over a 30-day period. So over the last 30 days, this, van freight is average 205 a mile. So, that would be, and then they consider that to be the industry standard, I guess. But is it accurate? How accurate is it? Tyrannus, your guess is as good as mine. Your guess is fucking good as mine. So I see that Trudeau and the Biden clown and all the minions in the House and Senate want to put tampons in men's. We're not going down that road. Mr. Bees, we're not going to go down that road with Brian tonight. Okay. I've already given myself a headache, and I think I've burned off more cells than I can afford to. But going down that road, like where that we start on that and where we go down that rabbit hole and where it's eventually going to go, A, I don't have enough time. And B, no, I'm not in a position. Let me just say this. I'm not in a position with people around me to talk freely about certain things like that. I'm just not in a position to do that. Frito-Lay and Canadian Tire are running a 64. Yeah, so is Walmart. Well, hold on. I want to go back up to the comment above. The nuclear power plants are past their expiration. They are. They've got a 25-year lifespan. Now, does that mean you got to scrap it? No, but it does mean that you got to pull the rods out and replace them, right? The fueling rods. And that's very expensive, and time consuming. You don't do that over a fucking weekend. And when all of that contaminated nuclear material comes out of that plant, and it has to be done very carefully, and like I said, it's very expensive, what are they doing with it? What are they doing with it? They're going up to fucking Nunavut and digging a fucking hole in the side of a hill, and they're burying it. That's what they're doing with it. Because that shit is radioactive for 20,000 years. It's never, the only other option is you got to shoot it out into space. Yeah. I say we take all of our trucks. I love the way you're thinking, Tyrannus. I say we take all our trucks and move to Mexico. Dude, I'm on board. Sign me up. Then a fresh one picks up the trailer. Oh, okay. You're talking about the big box. Big box up here. The way they're doing it up here is they're building big box stores in complexes. That way the trucks don't have to go here. Everybody converges from one complex to another complex to another complex. That's it. It's all across America. There's only one constant rule. Doesn't cost nothing but money. You got it, hooligan. You got it. It doesn't. Anything is attainable. Anything is possible. Anything is attainable with enough money. As we know, look at our government. They just keep printing it. That's why we're in the position. That's why our inflation, our interest rates are so high. Trudeau just goes down to the basement, cranks up the old fucking mill, and starts printing out fucking $100 bills. That's why. You want to know? You want to know the smart thing to do? And as much as this pains me to fucking do, I'm going to agree with James Best on something here. And he said it 1,000 times in his fucking lives, and it hurts me to fucking do it. It truly fucking does. Buy silver. Start buying fucking silver, people. Gold if you can, but buy silver. Paper money is just paper money. It's fucking paper. Buy silver. I haven't purchased any silver yet. It's something that I was looking at earlier today. I want to know how to purchase it, how it's purchased, what the cost, what the commission. Like, I want to know. I'm going to investigate the shit out of it. I'd struggle with it. Nope. Yes, you would. And you can have Wi-Fi still off the grid. I am not into materialistic things. Well, I know that, babe. You've never been into materialistic things. That's one thing I've been very blessed with. I've got a wife that doesn't need to keep up with the Joneses. She doesn't have to have the nicest house. She doesn't have to have the nicest car. She doesn't have to have, a Prada purse and, expensive shoes. And like, I'm very fortunate in that area that I don't have that. But I think living off the grid and the extra time, it's the extra time that you'd have on your hands. I think that would be the hardest part for most people, right? Because when you get bored, you got nothing to do, you pick up your phone. 90% of us that drive trucks, what do when we park the truck at the end of the night? We do up whatever paperwork, we phone our wives or husbands, we say hello, good night, whatever, da-da-da-da. And then you have your dinner. And while you're eating your dinner, what are you doing? You're either scrolling through Facebook, YouTube, fucking Instagram, whatever. You get into bed, you're not quite tired, you lay there, you look at your phone. If you took all of that away, what would you do? Think about all the extra time you'd have. What would you do with it? You'd have to find something to fill that time. So find something constructive that you could do to fill that time. I think I could come up with enough hobbies for myself to keep myself busy. I don't know about other people. The only thing money is good for is to buy shit with. Once you have everything you need, you don't really need money again. It is. And people get caught up in it. I got caught up into this like years ago, right? When I bought, I buy my first house, right? And then, you buy your house, then you buy some nice furniture, you get some shit, and you fill your house up. Well, then you buy some more of this, and it's like, oh, fuck, now I need a bigger house. What's a house? A house is just something that you spend more money on to put more shit in. At the end of the day, you're going to have a huge fucking mansion full of shit that ain't worth anything. The house might be worth something. Downsize. That's the way to go now. We don't need big houses. I don't need a big house. I don't need a big, beautiful, fucking huge house. The house I've got right now is it's a bungalow with 5 fucking bedrooms. I don't need that. Could I go off the grid right now? I think I could. Rig Pig, what's that? Dar, I have for you on Brian. Go off the grid. I still have 2 free cats for you. No more fucking cats. We've still got 4 cats and 2 dogs. I'll be honest with you. When the dogs are gone, if she wants another Devon, she can go get another Devon. But no more goddamn cats, man. Not right now. I disagree. It comes out of the ground. It goes back into the ground. What is that we're talking about there? The nuclear shit? That's a very good question, Mr. Bees. Think about it. That's something you really. What if you had to retire today and you and not get anything from the government? You have no income. Would you? I think what you're saying is, would you survive? I would. I would. I'm in a position that if I had to retire today, I could liquidate everything that I own and downsize into what we were just talking about. I have enough skills and shit and ideas up here to keep me busy that I could generate money living off grid and survive without the government or without a handout or without going to work 9 to 5 and making a paycheck. I think, yes, I think I could do it. I think I could probably do well at it. I don't think I would struggle. Maybe in the beginning, obviously you'd have to acclimate to the new way of doing things, and you're obviously going to make mistakes, right? So as long as you've got enough, money that you can make a couple of mistakes and recover. But I think myself personally, like me and Dar, I think if we had to do that right now, we probably could. Dar would prefer a cabin. I wouldn't mind a cabin. I would want a cabin. I'd be okay with the cabin, but I'd have to have a shop, like something big enough that I could build shit in and do stuff in. What's up, everybody? Everyone? How you doing, Mark Ely? How the hell are you? Go grab your cigar and try to keep it lit, because this look at this. It's you can't see it, but it's actually holding out. I don't know why it's doing that. The only thing you can do is sort of like break the end off it and start from scratch. See, it's lit, but it's lit in the dead center, not around, all the way around. There's a little ember in there. It sucks when your cigar does that, because you lose probably about 10 good puffs off it. And I hate that. For the price that we pay for these goddamn things, you know what I mean? That's going to set Dar off right there. Just me saying that. The price we pay for these goddamn things, she's going to fucking go into a fucking tirade. There's going to be a big, long comment there. Woo! Watch the eyebrows on that one, eh? I survived, or who survived, Mr. Bees? I think Mr. Bees is asking in general, like a general question. Would you survive if you had to do that right now? If you had to stop working right now and retire and not get any assistance from the government, would you be able to survive? I think it was just a general question. You don't have extra time. You're constantly cooking, chopping wood, prepping your place. I agree, Dar. I agree. Silver ratio to gold is 90-1. Should be 16-1. When it reaches 20-1, flip it for gold. Thank you, Robert. I'm going to investigate this. I know that I've heard you talk about it with gold and silver. I know, like I said, I know Best has talked about it. He buys silver. Spoke to a guy who was completely off the grid for over 2 years. He went out of his mind. Dude, you must have a lot of mind, because I can tell you right now, I would not lose my mind. I would do well. Give me my wife, the Hank Williams Jr. songs. Give me my dog, my woman, my dogs, and my guns, and just leave me the fuck alone out there. I would do really well. Off the grid is work. It's like living the old days where people didn't have much time to sit around. I agree, Dar. I agree. It's like we can go back and be a little house on the prairie if you want. Bulls, I think it just depends on what one is used to and what you do with it. Some people have communities. That's another thing. You can get yourself into. There are communities out there. You can get yourself into some of these communities that do live off the grid. You know what? Get yourself into a good community like that, and you do all right. I love my Apocalypse Cellar. It's got lots of spam. Hey, man. Fried spam on fucking Wonder Bread with mustard and pepper. Oh, Dude, I could eat that every day for the rest of my life and not have to worry about it. Nope, I don't want any more animals. I'm glad to hear that. It's crazy. I just built my retirement home in Mexico for under $10,000. 2 bedrooms on top of a mountain. 2026 can't get here fast enough for retirement. Dude, I'm so jealous. Mark, I'm glad to hear you say that, man. Congratulations. Good for you. Fucking good for you, man. I'm jealous. I won't say I'm jealous. I'm not jealous of anyone, but there's a little bit of streak of envy going through me there. Yeah, Dar's right. That's amazing. Good for you. I used to live in Mexico me, the wife, 3 kids on under 500 a month. It's crazy. Even, oh, fuck. Well, Mark, my kids, I've got 2 older kids. One's 32 and one's 29. And when all the COVID shit and all the vaccination shit, they refused to get vaccinated. They moved to Mexico and did well. And now they're actually traveling the world. They're traveling the world. They went to Mexico. They sold my daughter had a very successful business in Toronto, downtown Toronto. She sold all of that. It set her up quite nicely. And they moved to Mexico. They moved down to Tulum. And they did very, very well. And now they travel the world. They've done backpacking through Europe. They've done Australia. They've done, the last time I spoke to my oldest daughter, she was, where was she, Dar? In Taiwan or Japan? She was over in the Orient somewhere. Now, it's funny as hell because she's blonde, blue-eyed, and she's tall. She got my height. She's like 5'10", 5'11". She goes, Dad, I'm the tallest person in the country, man. I stand out like a sore thumb. That's a good question, Dar. Mark, why did you leave? I should have asked him. I'd rather go on life experiences instead of burning up money on the daily. Well, we'll talk about this. That's technically right. Burning and inhaling money. You know what? Much to my wife's disgust, and she hates the fact that I smoke them, it could be worse. Okay? I don't drink, so I don't go out every Friday with the boys to the bar. That would be a big bill. That'd be a big tab. So I don't drink. I don't partake in any recreational drugs. So there's another big bill that I don't have. And I don't have any expensive hobbies. Like I don't have a boat. I don't have, I don't have 5 cars in my driveway up on blocks and I'm always working. I don't have, if the only crutch or the only vice I got in life is cigars, leave me alone. Leave me alone. If it costs me $100 a week in cigars, yes, that's $400 a month. Yeah, it's $4,800 a year. But if I was drinking and drugging and carrying on like the old days, well, first of all, my wife wouldn't even be with me. So, you know what? If the worst vice I've got is smoking cigars, and it's you're burning up. This one here cost me I think $12 or $14. If the worst I've got is I'm burning off $14 and it gives me some joy and a little bit of pleasure and I enjoy doing it, leave me alone. And I'm not saying that to my wife. I'm just saying people in general. If you don't like the fact that I smoke cigars, tough fucking shit. Oh, Tolga, there's more things in life that are going to kill me before this cigar will. Trust me. There are more things in life that are going to kill me faster than this goddamn cigar will. And that's the fucking truth. Dar sounds like Dar and Mr. B's and Tolga are all on the same page there. I'm going to get off that page. I used to live full-time in Mexico, fish in the morning, at dawn, tend to the crops and chickens. It was awesome. See, that there I could get into. Dar would love that. Mark, Dar would fucking love that. Now the next logical question, Mark, why didn't you stay? My longest time not leaving the property was 135 days from going to town. There's TJ. There's another boy I love. Fuck. How you doing there, TJ? I know I'm way behind in the comments. By the time TJ wrote that to now, he's probably fucking gone to bed. I was worried about my children and wife if I dropped dead and they couldn't get into America. I made papers. Wife still, she is now a citizen of U.S. moving back now. Smart. That would be one of the only problems that I have. Well, Mexico, not so much because their doctors down there are phenomenal. But I think that would be the problem I would have if I was to move to, say, like Panama or fucking Uruguay or fucking Colombia or something like that. Is as I'm getting older, right? Medical issues come up. At least in Canada, I have somewhat access to good medical, to good doctors, to good hospitals. I don't know what I would get if I was down there. It's one of those situations that you'd have to have somebody you know and trust already down there doing it so that you had an in, Actually, they aren't. Aren't they living in Australia now, which is bizarre to me since they left Canada and Sutros, I don't know, Sutros was Sutros was brutal during the pandemic. Yeah, I kind of thought that was a little odd that they're congregating themselves in Australia, but they obviously found something they like. Here we go. I'm not getting into this. We're just gonna. This is Brian being ignorant. You'll still be young when the insurance money comes in. Well, you know what? Enjoy it, baby. Enjoy it. I would rather enjoy having some joy and some enjoyment in my life and what's going on now than worry what it's going to be fucking 20 years from now, or worry about if you're going to be young and enjoy the insurance money, knock yourself out. Knock yourself out. No, Tolga, I ain't banning anybody. I love Tolga. Yeah, Dar loves you even more. Kitty craves with Dar. Yep, smoke for free. Well, a lot of the time I buy my cigars off the reserve, so you can't say I'm not supporting the native population. This old truck stays running. Very few issues. Knock on wood. You're right, Will. You know what, Bill? I as I said earlier, and when I was talking about Doty, I know with it, you and I have had these talks on my channel and in the chat, and I am eating a little bit of crow here. I do miss it. I miss that old Kenworth, and I think there is a place for it. Unfortunately, I think the government's going to shut us down with it. It's going to be harder and harder. You know what, Doty? Don't worry about me. Like I said, there's 200 other things that are going to kill me before a cigar will. Fucking Dar's liable to kill me first before the cigar will. I never slow down, not yet anyway. Well, Bill, let me tell you something. As you get older, you don't have a choice. When I was younger, brother, I ran hard. Running 2 to 3 logbooks hard. I ran hard. As I've gotten older, I still can run hard. I'm not doing it now because I'm doing ingots. Last month, I don't run as hard. But when I'm back on the open board and I'm running with these young guys, I still got to run. But I guarantee you, those young guys, at the end of their day, when they're parking their truck, they got a lot more energy to burn than I do, and you can't escape time. Time is one of those things. You can't buy back time. You can't escape time. It's one of those things, and eventually it catches up, and it's catching up with me. And that's why, we set ourselves up so that, you know what? You set yourself up. You don't have to work till you're 75 years old. Thank you. Thank you. I'll appreciate that. There, you see, Johnny, I agree with Johnny. I'm supporting the environment. I love Tolga more. He's yours. Well, I'm not going to get into a who loves Tolga more. Darn Google spell checker. Dude, you know what? Most of the time you guys put shit up here, I can translate it. By the way, I also quit vaping sugar and bread 11 or 12 days ago, but I can smoke some cigars maybe a few times each year or a few times in a few years in special days. There you go. There you go. I have not given up bread yet. I have not given up sugar. I've cut down on sugar. But here's an example. Today, I was, I got up off the couch today. I was doing something. I got up. I went into the kitchen. I wasn't even hungry. But I saw a loaf of white bread and a jar of peanut butter. What do you think I did? Put 2 pieces of bread in the toaster, made some toast, and made some peanut. I wasn't even hungry. It's like walking into the grocery store and they got the shit all right there at the aisle, right? It's almost like I was set up. That I walked in, I saw the bread, I saw the peanut butter, and all of a sudden I had to have it. Goofy, eh? Oh, well, say happy birthday to Mrs. B's. Belated. Hopefully she's watching. Thanks, Tolga. We love having you around, man. Everybody say hi to Mrs. B's. If I got any slower, I'd be going back in time. Oh, dude, I'm not there yet. But let me tell you, it's hard to keep this it's hard to keep this machine going and hard to keep this career going at the speed that you need to keep it going. And especially, well, I know that with it, like I know that he's got a really good setup and he's got himself set up with his business and the way he does it. That he's not running out here and he's not competing so much with everybody else. He's kind of got his own thing going and good for him. But I think if he was out here running sort of like Shannon Thomas does and like a lot of other guys do, where you wake up in the morning and you're on the load board, you're having to find your loads, you're having to do this, and you run like hell like a motherfucker for 200 miles and pick up your load, then you run another 400 miles, deliver your load, pick up blah 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 blah. I think age plays a big part of that. And as we get older, man, we definitely can't keep that pace. Yeah, I can definitely feel it when I run 3,500 miles in a week. Dude, I hear you. I'm all over that. I am a lot of things, but being fast is not one of them. Well, I used to be, but I'm not so fast. Now, you know what? I say this, and this is just me being arrogant, I guess. I'm not the fastest guy out here, but I'm still faster than most of the shit that's around me running. Most of these young guys out here that are entitled, the ones I'm talking about. With it, you know who I'm talking about. Mr. B's, you know who I'm talking about. Doty, you know who I'm talking about. All you truck drivers that are my age or older and everything, the new generation of drivers coming in, you don't have to work very hard to stay ahead of them. You really don't. Trust me. So I'm still leaps and bounds ahead of most of them. Cut down on sugar, and you don't have to get up from the couch. That's a good point. Smoke them if you got them. Thanks, Freeway. We are. Hopefully you are too. If you cut sugar out, you actually have less pain and more energy. Yeah, I agree with that. And pain management is something that I deal with on a daily basis, babe, and you know that. For me, it's just getting my mind and my brain wrapped around it. there are ways to live that I know that are better for me, health-wise, that would, for my arthritis and my other ailments that I've got, for my back and my hips and my knees and all the shit and arthritis. There are things I could be doing that would ease some of that for me. Sometimes I try, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I try. You know what? I don't win every battle that I'm in, but I probably win more than I lose. And a lot of the times I break even. So if it's a good day if I can break even. As I'm drinking a Dr. Pepper. Don't give up. We will at some time meet up. May not be today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon. Hey, Banana Puss, Johnny, whatever you want to call yourself, brother. I'm happy to meet. I'm happy to sit down and talk to anybody. Dude, I would talk to a fucking, that's another good thing about being, if I moved off the grid, I can sit down and talk to a fucking fence post. I can sit and talk to a squirrel. I got no problem with that. I got no problem with that. Johnny, smoking is not good, silly. Please don't watch CNN. Well, I don't watch CNN. Tolga, Johnny the Organism. Actually, I've quit smoking more than 10 years ago. Started vape a few years ago, which it was a stupid move. I just got bored from all the stuff and quit forever. I quit vaping. I used to smoke cigarettes. I've always smoked cigars, but I've quit smoke cigarettes. I vaped. I quit vaping last year. Now it's just cigars, right? GG Stark, I agree. 100%. He stayed in power on that last, vote of no confidence thing that they did. And that prick stayed in power only because he made a backroom deal, which none of us know about what the deal was, but he made a deal with Singh, right? The Conservatives had the votes to win, and Trudeau would have been done. But he made a fucking deal with Singh, the NDP, right? And that kept him in power. Now, on the next election, GG Stark, on the next election, do you think that the NDP is going to back him again? That is the only way he will win. Only way he will win. I would love to know what the deal was. I don't know what the deal was. I don't have a clue. But I'd love to know what the deal is. What Trudeau promised him. If you keep me in power, I will give you whatever. I don't know what it was, but I'd love to know what that deal was. Let's go, Lions. Oh, get over it, Mark. Fucking Lions. As I did. As I did it before and I slept better. I need to get back at it. Yeah. That's another thing. Dar did it. She went keto, and then she went on another way of doing it, and it took out the sugar and the white bread and all the bread and all the shit, and it made a big difference. And it wasn't just like, okay, like a small little thing here. It made some big, it made a couple of big changes in her life. It's just having the discipline. That's my problem. I'm not speaking for Dar or anybody else. It's just my problem is the discipline to stay with it, right? I've been able to, and it's funny because I've been able to stay, drug and alcohol free because I'm a recovered drug addict and an alcoholic. And I've been able to do that for 30 years, over 30 years now, right? So I've got the ability and I know how to do it. It's just doing it. I agree. Mr. B's, I agree. It's the sitting here that kills us. Like I've for years I've dealt with blood clots, and it's part of it is a result of the career, right? You sit in this position more than any other position that you can put your body into, right? We are in this driver's seat more than we're on that bed sleeping, right? We're in this driver's seat more than we're out of the truck. So if you think about it, think about the position of sitting. It's not a natural position for your body. It's not. So your body pays a price for it. Smoking gives an intellectual something to do while he thinks, and the idiot something to put in his mouth. Thanks, Tyrannus. I appreciate that. It gives me time. Yeah, that's why I keep lighting this. It gives me time to think about what I'm going to say next. Dar's agreeing with GG. I have something he can put in his mouth. Yeah. Squirrels are good, man. Very tasty. You know what? I've never eaten squirrel. I've had rabbit, had raccoon, had deer, moose, elk. Never eaten a squirrel. Never eaten squirrel. But don't kid yourself for a fucking minute. I would, if I had to. No problem. If it comes down to the squirrel and me, the squirrel is done. Cooped up in a cab 10 hours a day, you start talking to the tires. Well, you know what? I listen to a lot of music, but every once in a while, I like to just shut everything down and listen to the truck. I don't know if anybody else does that. Is that just an old man thing? I don't know. Like when I'm going down the highway, I don't listen to the hum of the tires, but just listen to the truck. The old trucks was even better. These ones here, they're a lot quieter than the older. They're not quite as clacky, but I still do it. I still enjoy, like, every once in a while, I'm not in the mood to listen to anything. I listen to the truck. It was funny when my wife came to America, she didn't know how to use a microwave or laundry machine. Does she know now? And if she does, you want to tell her to teach my wife? I'm just kidding, Johnny. I'm just kidding. I agree. Discipline is a virtue, just like patience. It's a hard thing to do. Yoga. Actually, Guard Dog is big on yoga. It's something, it's one of those things that if I could do it, it would ease a lot of my pain. It would ease a lot of the things in my life. And it's like somebody saying, here, I'll give you something right here. Here's something. I'll give it to you. And this will help you. And then they give it to you. And then you take it and you just put it over there and forget about it. That's me with some of the things in my life. You know? Discipline. I'm disciplined to the point with certain things. Like, I'm very disciplined about my business. I'm very disciplined about my sobriety and staying clean. I'm very disciplined about that. I'm very disciplined about my business. I'm very disciplined about certain aspects of my life. Probably not things that are good for me. It's always an outward thing that I'm disciplined about. Keeping myself sober and clean, drug and alcohol free, that's a big thing. But over 30 years, that's now just become natural for me. It's not normal. It's not normal for me to drink or to do drugs. So it's become natural. But the other things, you know, are more difficult for me, and I do struggle with them. This is psychology. This is the next 10 minutes is psychology of Brian 101. Let's tear Brian down and see what we can get. I like yoga. I watch it all the time. That would be me. You know, I think all yoga studios should have a big glass window right by the sidewalk, and we could just walk by and watch everybody do yoga. I'm good with that. Come on, we got to keep the chat up ahead. Keep the chat up ahead somewhere in the snow and ice trucking. Well, dude, I'm all caught up in the chat, so that means I'm pretty much almost done. The cigar is almost done. I said last week that we weren't going ice road trucking this year, and funny enough, last Wednesday, they announced that they sent 6 trucks. They sent 6 trucks up to Red Lake, and they're going to Nineveh as well. It's hydro, right? We're putting up all the hydro power stations and shit. And they put 6 trucks up on the ice road last week, and they fell through the ice. Not in the lake, not on the water, but the road collapsed. The road gave out. The weather. We haven't had the weather for it. We haven't had cold enough weather to sustain an ice road, and the road actually fell through. And nobody was hurt, thank God. But they did damage up some equipment. They lost some trucks and blah, 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 blah. So I'm glad I was not up there this year. I didn't go this year. So I've been driving 30 plus years like you, Brian. I have a bad back, and I can't stay standing up for very long. Well, Dodie, some of that also has to do with the career that you, not only are you trucking, but you're doing flatbed, right? Like I did flatbed for probably better part of my career. And I paid a dear price for it, right? You're constantly strapping, chaining, securement, tarping, all that kind of shit. You do that for 16, 17 years. It takes a toll on the body. Like my shoulders are shot, right? My rotators are gone. My hips, I need hip replacements. I need knee replacements. I need a back surgery. I need 2 back surgeries. You know, I need all of that as a result of my career. Some of it actually is, you know, I injured myself at certain times and didn't take care of myself and let myself heal properly. That's my fault. That's on me. But some of it has been the business, you know, the trucking business. We do what we do. We sit in the seat. We throw tarps. We do. You know what I'm talking about. I say put up a bar next to a yoga place and just put a big one. Mr. B's, now you're thinking, eh? Leave it to Mr. B's to think outside the box. How the fuck does hydropower work in the frozen tundra? It's the it's the power stations. The power station. You know when you're driving along Tyrannus and you see like those great big huge gray, they're the size of a house, right? And they've got like 12 great big prongs off the top of them going up to the hydro lines. And then 20 miles later, you'll see another one. We put those in, and it's all oversized, heavy haul. It's specialty work. It's all jack and slide. It's intricate work, and it's difficult work. And our company, we put those in. And to get those out there, you actually have to build the ice road out to the areas where you're going to be putting these things in. So that's how it works in the frozen tundra. I don't know what you're saying there. If you ever move to the States, I'll send housewarming gifts, free yoga coupons, a case of sauerkraut, and a fucking case of Dr. Pepper. With it, you send a case of sauerkraut, it'll be returned to sender. Because if I get it before Dar does, it's not coming in the fucking house. I still get a full body shiver every time I think of her frying that. The house stunk for a fucking week. A week, Bill. The house fucking stunk when she was doing fried that sauerkraut up. Dude, it's disgusting. It's the worst smell in the fucking world. And if you like it, there's something fucking wrong with you. Look at that. There she is there. Ha ha, yeah, she loved it. There's fucking something wrong with people like you, man, that fucking enjoy that. That's disgusting. I have a bad back. I can't sit. Can't lie down. The best I can do is stand and walk. It's weirding me out, man. Let me tell you something. my back, I like to sit. I'm not too bad. But when I get out of this truck, when you walk into, you pull into a truck stop and you see some old codger climbing out of his truck, and you see him and he's all bent over and he's like, oh, and and it takes him about 10 steps before he's walking upright. That's me. Okay, that's me. I'm like an old cripple. I get out of this truck, I walk. It takes me 10 to 15 steps before I'm upright again, and then I kind of loosen up and I'm all right. But like when I get out of the seat here, like when I'm working and I go like into the back, I literally have to I grab the cabinet on the Freightliner. I grab the cabinet there and I grab the cabinet up top here with both hands. And I literally have to stand there and just basically sway back and forth. And I can hear everything from the top of my spine up right where it connects with your neck, all the way down to like my tailbone. And all I hear is snap, pop, crack, pop, snap, pop. It's like, holy shit, something's fucking going to break eventually. It's because you got rid of your K. Yeah, whatever. Rub it in, Dodie. Thanks. You can watch yoga and I'll watch the delivery guy at work with his gray jogging pants. Oh, Dar's got a such. Dar and I, one of the other girls at work, I guess there's a guy that comes in, a regular customer, and he comes in, he's a good looking dude. He comes in and he's always wearing gray pants, and apparently he's hung like a pack mule, and it shows. And these two girls just sit there and they slide right off their chairs. You know what I mean? Like, hey, get your thrill where you can, baby. Get your thrill where you can. It grinds my teeth. I can't stand up to eat those type of stuff. I already have goosebumps because I thought about that. That's disgusting. I can't eat fucking fried sauerkraut. Same with like she'll steam broccoli, and while it's steaming and everything, as soon as she takes the fucking top off of that, the smell that comes out of that pot, oh my God, it's the most disgusting fucking smell in the world. But at least it doesn't get into the fucking house. It doesn't stink out the whole house. It's totally gross. Hey, did you ever fix your fuel tanks leveling off? Nope. Mark, never happened. Never happened. I am eventually, probably, well, not in the next month or so, I'm going to have no choice. And I'm going to have to spend like some big bucks because they've done everything that they can figure out to do. Like like I said, I've told you guys before, I've had it at 3 or 4 different Freightliners. Our guys here have taken 3 or 4 shots at it, trying to figure it out. Nobody can figure it out. Freightliner corporate couldn't figure it out. I've been on like chat boards for Freightliners and I've thrown it up there, and there's been a couple other guys that try this or try that. Nobody. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one last swing at it. I've got a pretty hefty shop bill right now that I'm paying off. And once it's paid, I'm going to take the truck and I'm going to hand it over to Freightliner and say, this is the situation. I want you to rebuild the fuel system from the motor back. From the motor back, I want you to rebuild the whole fuel system, empty the tanks. So new pickups, new lines, new crossover, fucking everything, and redo it. Because nobody can figure this out, right? Because my truck holds, I got 135 aside, so I hold 270 fucking gallons, and I do 2 round trips, right? So I do 400, just over 400 miles in a day, and this tank is full, and that tank is down to a fucking quarter tank. So my fuel gauge is out of the passenger side tank. So when I get back here at the end of the day, my fuel gauge shows that I got just over between a quarter tank and 3/8 a tank of fuel. Meanwhile, I've got a full tank sitting behind me that I can't even fucking use. But then as soon as I park the truck, they level off. So I'm not 100% sure. What I might try before that is another smart mechanic, one of the old guys. He said, build a crossover. He said, just eliminate it, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to build a bracket. He's going to weld. He's going to weld a bracket and make a bracket. So it'll go from the inside of the frame rail on the passenger side to the driver's side. And he's going to run a tube or weld a tube into the bracket. So, and we're going to fucking tap both the tanks and just go like the old style, like Doty's truck and like my W9 and like a lot of the old school trucks. It's you got a crossover line and let gravity do it, right? Just like gravity do the fucking job. So we're going to take a swing at that as well. But right now, for what I'm doing, I don't have to worry about it because I got enough fuel to do what I'm doing. But if I had to say run fucking from out of Toronto and run down to New Jersey, and then go from New Jersey, say up to North Maine or Connecticut or something like that, where there's very few fuel options, I'd be screwed. I really would. So it's something I'm still working on. I had a 700-pound chunk of concrete land on me from about 6 feet above me. The next day, I was medevaced from the hospital to one in Richmond. Yeah, I heard we heard about that. You're lucky to still be breathing, Mr. Bees. What that's done to your body, God. I can only use 130 gallons of fuel. Well, dude, same here. I can only use 135. Just get new tanks. Well, it's not the tank, right? It's not the tanks. You know, I can replace the tanks. All the tanks do is hold the fuel. The tanks themselves have nothing to do with the problem. It's the fuel system. Like the fuel comes out of the tanks, goes through the pickups, into the lines, up to the fuel filter, up to the fucking, you know, goes into the engine, gets used. The return fuel lines bring the fuel back, and it goes back into the tanks. And somewhere in that process, it's getting fucked up. So I don't have a clue. Said I was puking up blood, lost 2 pints. I should not even be here. Well, dude, that's what I'm talking about. You're lucky to still be breathing. Yoga would help you out a lot. You know what, Shannon? I know that. And it's one of those things that I know what's good for me. And it was when Dara, actually 20-something years ago, when Dara and I first got together, I had a real serious back injury. And I had to go to physio. And the girl that was doing my physio, it was yoga, basically, right? It was yoga. And it worked wonders. And then when my physio was over, she gave me all of this, like she gave me this book and all of this great information on how to sustain it. Keep it up, keep going. And I didn't. Very foolishly, I didn't. And again, that's on me. I can't blame anybody for that. But, you know, hey, I'm paying a price for it. Is yoga something that I would probably be looking at? I should be looking at it, Shannon. I really should. Look on the bright side, Brian. Dar cooks that stuff to kill the bugs. To kill the bugs. There's no fucking bugs in our house. She cooks that shit because she likes to eat it. But the smell is just, oh. Forced to retire with no income, nothing from the government. Gooberment. It's been fun. I was in debt up to my ass. Big house payment and cars, truck insurance, and kabang. Well, dude, that's a lot of the situations everybody's in, right? A lot of people are in that, right? And a lot of that comes from, you know, you got to keep up with the Joneses. You got to keep up the appearance. You got to have the nice cars. You got to have the nice house. You got to have the all the shit. You know, to me personally, that's a state of mind. You know, I don't. You know, I'm wearing. I've got 7 pairs of jeans. They're all 501 Levi's. I got the same 7 pairs of fucking jeans. Every couple of years, I'll buy 2 new pair. That's like this, how many times am I go live and I'm wearing a different plaid shirt? But like I don't wear fancy clothes. I don't keep up. I don't do all of that. I really don't. I don't need to. I used to. Years ago, I used to. And I did get caught up in that. You know, I had to have a nicer house. I had to have a nicer car. I always had to have this. And sometimes, even over the last week, I'll be honest with you, some of that thinking has come back into my head. Oh, why don't I have a nicer car? Why don't I have, you know? And sometimes, you know, I talk to Dar. I don't necessarily talk to Dar about it, because I'll get frustrated and get pissed off, and then she laughs at me and calls me an idiot. But you know, for the most part, I'd like to think that no, I don't have to. I don't have to do that. I don't live that way. Green apple slices and raisins take some of the bite out of the sauerkraut. Absolutely delicious with kielbasa. I'm not a big green apple fan, but I do like apples. I don't eat raisins. Well, right now, obviously, I can't eat raisins. I got no fucking teeth, but I don't know how it would take a bite out of the sauerkraut. I can't eat kielbasa, dude. Give me a block, a block of old white cheddar, and a fucking good hunk of kielbasa. I'll sit at the table for hours eating that. Hours. I'll make myself sick. I'll eat so much cheese and kielbasa I won't shit for fucking 3 weeks. Loved it. Loved it. Trucker Convoy 2 coming. You're part of it. Dude, I tell you this honestly, 100%. I was part of the first one. I've told you guys before. Dar and I went down to the very first convoy. We were the 17th truck in to Ottawa. We were on the fucking tip of the spear going in there. We documented it. It's on my channel. We've taken nothing down. If you go back to the very beginning of my channel, all those videos of us at the convoy are still up. We were there. And if it ever happens again, we will be there again. We will be there again. No questions asked. I will tell my work. I got something I got to do. Adios. Cooked in the sauerkraut. Fuck off. That's disgusting. Brian, do what I did. Get rid of my Freightliner and bought my Pete. Best thing I did. Wasn't easy, but I did it. No regrets. Dodie, I know you got no regrets, and you shouldn't have any regrets. The problem I've got right now is, again, the company I'm with. If I was to sell this truck and go back and buy your truck or buy an old truck like that, I wouldn't be able to get it on the fleet. Our company wouldn't allow it. And a lot of the Canadian companies up here, they don't allow it. I think the maximum is a 5-year now. 5 years. Your truck has to be within 5 years, or they won't put you on. They won't put you on. I used to love yogurt. Now it's like Salient Green. I don't know. Oh, Soylent Green. I don't know what that is. I love yogurt, though. I eat a shit ton of it. The one thing I learned, you don't need all that. You don't need all that. I love it here. And I found out who I was, who I had money, had a lot of people around. No, not so much. I agree. They got everyone thinking about the Ammer. What do you think about America? Mm-mm. Mm-mm. There it is. We are blessed. Everything is paid for now, and all of this land to live on: fish, hunt, garden, smoke pot, and make cornhole boards, and talk to you fine people. Man, that is a really nice way to live, man. I'm very happy for you, Mr. Bees. I'm sorry that you had a 700-pound piece of concrete hit you, but man, that's a hell of a nice way to live. Yeah, I agree. Ooh, raisins. It's crazy they got everyone in debt with the credit, and the only ones winning is the bank. Yeah, well, eventually the banks are going to crash. Here, you want to know something, Mark? It's kind of funny that we have the ability to crash banks if we want to. If everybody right now, walked into the bank, if you're able to walk into the bank, but if you walked into the bank right now, everybody, and drew all the money out of your accounts, banks would crash at a record rate. If everybody walked in and emptied their accounts, I want to walk in, I want to take all of my money out of the bank. They'd crash. Banks would crash. and I get to hang out with my best friend all day, every day, wherever we got. That's you know what, Mr. Beats, that's fucking awesome. Why is bread bad for you? I'm not 100%. I know that it has to do with the sugar and well, I don't know about you, but when I eat bread, I get bloated. I mean, like, I ate 2 pieces of toast this afternoon, and I can almost feel myself. I bloat, and I don't know if anybody else does, but I know that bread makes you bloat. I know it ain't good for you. Did I just discuss Dar and Brian with my sauerkraut recipe? Yeah, you did. That's fucking nasty. I wouldn't eat that. I mean, if I was starving, I'd go eat yellow snow first, Tyrannus, before I'd fucking eat that. That's disgusting. What's going on, Greg? Mr. Greg, haven't seen you in a while. You've been busy up there. You buried under 18 feet of fucking snow yet? You should be. Yeah, 5 years new and you're always in debt forever. Well, like I said, Mr. B's, you know, Dar and I'm not going to say that we've always made the best financial decisions through our marriage and our lives over 20 plus years or whatever. But I'd like to think that right now that I am in a position that if I had to sell everything and cash everything in, we could probably walk away into the sunset and be all right for the rest of our lives. Greg is loving Dar's Facebook post. Thanks, Greg. I felt the need to post a small memory. Oh, yeah, Dar, actually, we were sitting at the table today. That's right. And Dar, it was written by a lady named Tanis. When we went to the Convoy last year, Tanis's son had passed away, and she had asked the leaders of the convoy or the organizers, "Is there a truck that I could maybe ride in?" She'd never been in a truck before, and I want to be part of this convoy. And they reached out, and Dar and I answered. So we actually live in Kingston, or not in Kingston, but we live by Kingston. We drove from our place all the way to Toronto to hook up with the front end of that convoy. We picked up Tanis, and my God, the woman brought, I don't know, like enough food to feed 300 people. And it was a thrill of her life to sit in a truck, and the organizers put us at the front of the convoy to give this woman a thrill, and it worked. And Tanis came with us, and what Dar put on her Facebook, actually, we should put that in our community. Dar's gonna have to take some snapshots of it because it was on a Facebook page, a post, but we're gonna take some snapshots of it, and we'll put it in our community. It's a really good read. What this lady wrote was phenomenal, and it was very touching. I mean, like, there's not a single one of you that is not going to read that. I think, Greg, you'll agree with me. I don't think there's a single one of you that's going to read that and not sit there and like go, "Oh my God," like, okay. You know, it was very touching. They want to go out. They want to go to digital. They will control our money. There is nothing to withdraw. Well, yeah, you got to do that now before they go digital. I blame my German stepmother that tortured me with sauerkraut. Dude, okay, now I'm feeling sorry for you. But I'm still not fucking eating it. And if you are still eating it, you're nuts. I stopped credit cards when I was in my early 20s. And that's a bad catch. You know what? Because I did at one point get caught up with the credit card thing. And it takes a long time to dig yourself out of credit card holes. Right? When you've got a credit card with a limit here and you run that one, then you got another one here and something happens, truck breaks, you can't get your hand on cash, you got this, you got that, you got whatever. Yeah, credit cards can kill you, man. They can kill you. You know what, Johnny, it's funny because I like seeded bread. I like poppy seed bread. And there's a couple other breads that I really like, but it was in the kitchen. It was right there. It was white bread and a jar of fucking Kraft smooth peanut butter. I couldn't help it. It's the starch in the bread that's bad. I'll agree. You know what? I'm not a dietitian. So what do I know? I just know that when I eat it, I bloat and I feel shitty. Simple. I eat it, I bloat, and I feel shitty. So I try not to eat it. It was just one of those, moments of weakness, I guess. Love homemade bread. Oh, yeah, hold on. Dar's like, homemade bread doesn't affect me as much. It's only got a few ingredients. Yeah, Dar's mom makes her own bread. Dar's mom does all her own canning and makes her own bread and all that kind of stuff. And the bread that Dar's mom makes and sends to us, I got no problem eating. Dar sometimes bloats. I can eat that. Her rolls, her dinner rolls, and her Kaiser buns and all that kind of stuff. I got no problem with that stuff. Love homemade bread and rolls with honey. I like warm rolls, like when they're freshly made with real butter, not margarine, right? Just a little bit of butter with warm rolls. Oh, Mr. B's, I could eat that all day long. And then if you take a roll and you put like a couple pieces of cheese on it with some ham and a little bit of mustard, same thing. Yeah, everybody loves homemade bread. And I love the smell of homemade bread when it's cooking or when it's baking. Love the smell of homemade bread. I love homemade bed. Yeah, I like homemade bed too. I like homemade breasts as well. I like natural breasts. I don't like artificial breasts. I don't know about you, Johnny, but I like a homemade bed with homemade breasts. I'll snap it and post it after this. Okay, guys, it's worth the read. Go check it out. But if no place takes paper or coin because it's worthless, everything's digital. Well, that's where they're going to, right? They want a digital currency. Canada does, at least. They're working very hard on that. There you go. There you go, Dar. Whitit's gonna hook you up, okay? Now, Whittit, you gotta put the gray track pants on, and no stuffing the fucking banana down the front of your pants, Jack. All right, no stuffing the banana. She wants to see the real thing. I got the same bloat. Oh, then I'm not alone. Wheelburner, trucking with MC. Wheelburner, I appreciate you flapping your jaws long enough to help me get to the receiver. Hey, man, that's what we're here. That's what we're here for. I do this for therapy of my own. This is therapy for me. I don't know what the fuck you guys get out of it. If it kills, I've been on here for 3 hours. So that's about 180 miles, depending on how fast you drive. If it gets you 180 miles down the road, so be it. Glad you made it. Glad I can help you out. I got a 50-hour week coming up. After 40 hours, it's time and a half, and after 44, it's double time. 50-hour week. What's today? Monday. So I start work at 1 o'clock in the morning. I'll be at 50 hours by Wednesday night. Thursday morning, I'll be at 50 hours. And I still got Thursday and Friday to run. No sympathy here. Although I don't get double time and a half after 45, I have to talk to my boss, Darlene, to see if I can get a pay raise. Can't wait with it. I told Brian the other day I missed you. Son of a bitch, Bill, she did too. You got to make it work the other way. Cash is king. Yeah, but you know what? A lot of places aren't taking cash anymore. Right? Nobody's not nobody, because there obviously some places do take cash. But when was the last time you walked into a 7-Eleven and tried to use a $100 bill? They look at you like a monkey doing a fucking math problem. They don't want to accept them. It's the same up here in Canada, right? $100 bills they're like, in Canada we have $1,000 bills, but they don't use them, right? Because nobody will accept them and nobody will change them. We got $100 bills, but more and more is not being accepted at certain places because nobody wants to deal with it. T-Bone, what's happening? Did you get your truck parked this week without putting it in a ditch or in a hole? Hopefully. Hopefully. Need some more T-Bone's tips there, son. You're falling behind. You were on a bit of a roll there. And you had it going, but so you invested in an ounce of gold. Yay. It's $2,000. Good for you. But you're going to get true value for a loaf of bread. And gold might cost you a quarter ounce to get. I'd rather have the gold. If you're playing the long game, Mr. B's, I'd rather have the gold. That's, yeah, Dar's proud of you, Curtis. Good job. That's right. I'm just messing with you, man. You know that. Oh, dude, everybody messes with me. I'm good. Are you guys bloating because you're all pregnant? Yeah, I'm pregnant. Yeah, I'm pregnant. That's just what I need, another kid. All just chilling over here at the wheel burner house having a beer. Anybody that wants to go to my place right now, there's beer in the fridge. There's whiskey on ice. There's a fire pit out back. Knock yourselves out, man. I used to do 60 hours at the J. Come on, Curtis. I'm just busting your chops, dude. You know that, son. Back in the day, we hung on the porch. Now we just do it on screw tube. Just saying. Hey, you know what? That's one thing that Dar has always liked, always insisted on every house that we've ever had. She likes a porch, a front porch. And I didn't necessarily agree in the beginning, but I do too. Like our house, we have a nice front porch and we sit out on the porch. We've got table and chairs and everything. It's nice in the summer to just sit out there, no phones, sit out there. We have our coffee in the morning and we can sit out there and listen to whatever, birds, squirrels, chipmunks, fucking whatever. Love sitting on the porch. And the back of my house, I got a really nice big deck on the back of my house. And same thing in the summer, sit out back there and at night, fire pit out back. It's nice. I enjoy a nice porch. I guess that's an old man thing. I guess, I don't know. Yeah. The tolls only take cash. Not up here, they don't. Not up here, they don't. The tolls up here, Dodie, you can pull out your debit card and you can tap the tolls up here. You don't need to be fucking, you don't need cash. More places are taking cash these days because people are working up, down, are waking up. Sorry, Johnny, are waking up down with the WEF. I agree, man. I did, but I will be posting a short about the potholes in the front today. My drive. Good. Keep them coming. T-Bone's tips video coming this week. Good. Keep them coming. Need to see them. The thirsty banana is very appealing, and it'll make you do splits a bunch if you say so. Sterling, you're here. I can stop now. You going live after I'm done? Thank God you're here, man. I need some relief. I'm at 3 hours. My cigar's giving me a hassle, and my mouth is fucking. I'm out of shit to talk about. Probably Wednesday-ish. Been pretty regular on videos, so. I don't know if you've been that regular on videos. I'm subbed to you, and I haven't seen the notifications, but hey, I'll go back and watch them. Everyone's saying hi to Sterling. Yeah, I said it. I got a big deck. I'm proud of it. Not ashamed to say it. I got a big deck. Proud of my big deck. We all on the porch bitching about the gooberment. Well, you know what? That's what the porch is there for. Light a cigar, have your coffee, and bitch about something. The squirrels and raccoons and everything else, they don't give a flying fuck. Right? They don't give a shit. They don't give a damn what you bitch about. At least ours don't. You're a spanner? That must be new tech talk or something, because, dude, I don't know what a spanner is. I know what a spammer is. I don't know what a spanner is. I'm stuck in the garage and enjoying every second of it. Dude, you're like me. I can tinker in my garage for a whole day. The only reason I go in the house is when I'm hungry. Or I don't even have to go in to go have a piss. I can do that out in the backyard. So it may be a big deck, but it's splintery. You're fucking hilarious. Is your deck big enough to play cornhole on? Yep. Whenever I pay my phone bill, they charge me an extra 4% if I use cash. Believe that shit? Dude, I didn't know that. They don't do that to me. They don't do that to me. If you're going to charge me a fucking service fee because I'm using cash, then there's fucking something wrong with that. Because it used to be that they charge you a fucking service fee, or they charge you a fee if you were using credit or a debit card, because they have to pay, right, a service fee for their machine every time they swipe it. Now you're telling me they're charging you 4% if you use cash? Fuck that, Rig Pig. Fuck that. You know what, dude? Go get yourself 2 fucking Dixie cups and a long piece of string, dude. I wouldn't even tolerate that. Been posting 1 long form a week lately on Mondays, trying to get more content with them. I found that very hard to do, T-Bone, to do the long form. A, it's a lot of work to edit, and B, there's some guys out there that can do it, and there's a lot of good YouTubers out there, the truck drivers, and they put one out every 2 days, and it's like a 25-minute video of compressed of what that guy did in the last, say, 40 hours. I eventually just run out of shit to say, right? And it's not that exciting to me. Like, they talk about, I'll go here, I do this, I do that. They show the pickup, the receive, and all that. And then they drive for whatever, and they talk. And I just run out of stuff to say. I'm not able. Some people can, maybe you can. I'm not able to just keep a steady flow going. I'm better with something like this, where you guys, I'm talking, I'm bouncing off all the things that you guys are saying. This I'm good at. The long form videos, not so much. I found that my niche for videos is 5 to 10 minutes. Anywhere in there, I can put up good videos of things that I'm doing, or helpful hints or tips or fucking shit like that. But the long form, like vlogging, video logging, or whatever you want to call it. I tried that last year, and I tried to do it. It's like I said, it's a lot of work for editing, and it's just, I didn't find it didn't get the views. Nobody, at least I thought, nobody wants to sit and watch a 20-minute video, right? When you go into your analytics and you see your view time, and you got a 20-minute video and they're only watching 6 minutes of it. Okay, so that means I just wasted 14 minutes of my fucking day, or 14 minutes worth of video. So I stopped. Breaking my heart at Sturdy. Yeah, I know. He's playing in his garage. Rig Pig, yeah, man, lots of places are like this. Some places will not take cash at all. Man, what's the world coming from? As we slowly sleepwalk into our own abyss. You're absolutely right. If using cash, there is no fee. Fees only apply when using credit cards and the digitally. Exactly. That's when they charge you the fees, because they have to pay a fee for using it. So they pass that on to the consumer. What fee is there for them to take cash out of my hand and put it in the register? There's no fucking fee. What? Some poor bastard has to fucking count it at the end of the night and fucking take it to the bank the next fucking day? Fuck you. Yeah, the editing gets nuts, especially trying to fit it all into 15 minutes or less. Oh, dude, I'm telling you, I don't do my editing. I don't, right? If I do let's just say I did a 25, let's say I did a whole day. If I go tomorrow and I vlog my whole day tomorrow, and I send it all, and I just send it all to Dar, and she has to edit it and video it, and all that. She'll call me and say, what do you want me to do with this? And how do you want me to do that, or whatever. So I don't do any of that, but it's all on her. And it's a lot of work, man. Like, let's face it, you can take 3 hours of video, and you got to compress that down into 20 minutes, you're doing it. It's a lot. Well, that's how it is in England. Well, I'm not going to England any goddamn time soon, Johnny, that's for sure. Yeah, or that Johnny the organist. That's how it started. It's not ending so well. I agree. Well, I blew my brains out here tonight. Came out of the gate strong, but I'm dying here. So I'd love to sit and chat with you, but what time is it? It's fucking 8 o'clock. So I got to get up in 6 hours and go to work. So I'm going to call this a night. I appreciate all you guys hanging out. Saw some new faces in here tonight. Hopefully you hit the subscribe button. You guys on your way out, do me a favor, hit the like button. It does help us out. I would appreciate it. If we all go down to pay our taxes in cash, we get charged a fee. But if we use a card, it's free. Now they are charging you to take out your own money of the ATM. Well, they've been doing that for years. You go to an ATM, you take out $20 and you pay a $3 service fee. How does that work? The guy that owns that ATM probably makes $1,000 a week just on service fees, right? Tyrannus, thanks for popping in, man. Always good to see you. Good to talk to you. Good conversation in here tonight. You guys nailed it with some really good topics, and you kept my mouth moving. I appreciate that. Thanks, man. So yeah, I'm gonna call this a night. I'm gonna probably take one more swing at this, get it lit, and get it finished. I gotta give Dara a call and say goodnight, and then I'll talk to you guys in the week. We'll pop another live up probably the middle of the week here. When I'm done, I start at 1 a.m. I'm usually done by 1:30 in the afternoon. So the next lives I do for the next little while are probably going to be in the afternoon. Sorry guys if you're working, but that's kind of where we're going to be for the next little while. With that, I'm out of here. We'll see you down the road. You guys be safe. Take care of each other. Dodie, keep your truck going. Bill, keep it going. You're killing it. Johnny, thanks for coming in, but I like the banana puss better. We'll talk to you guys later.